Hello, hello. Happy Thursday, everybody. It is Ray again, and we are going to be circling back to Aurora, Colorado, James Holmes, um, because Mama found some interrogation or interview videos of him with a psychiatrist, and I thought that it would go well with what we covered with the last episode about James because it had showed the motions that were filed from his defense team and the prosecutor team, um, going back and forth about him being forced onto medication. So in these interviews, you can see, I mean, they speak for themselves. I've seen just a little bit of them. I know Mama watched all 5 of them, and they're quite lengthy, so and from what she told me is he doesn't speak unless he's spoken to, he doesn't give any additional information. Um, it's pretty simple, short, curt answers, um, and it doesn't seem like he has a lot of emotion, which if you're on, heavy medication, that'll do it to you. But we will hop right in because this is going to be a long one. The first interview alone is over 4 hours. So we definitely are not going to be able to watch the entire thing. But I will speed it up a little bit and turn the captions on, and we will just vibe through this because this is really all I'll be showing tonight. I also linked the channel that has these interviews and the video that we are showing tonight in the description if you guys would like to watch the interview yourself and the other 5.
Good to see you. Come on in, why don't you have a seat? If you will. They're gonna leave us. Got you some juice. It says you like juice better than water, so yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, let me give you the explanation first, if I may. As I think you know, I'm a psychiatrist. I was appointed by the judge to evaluate you. My purpose is very, very similar to that of Dr. Metzner. Do you remember Dr. Metzner?
Yeah.
Okay. He met with you here, I think.
Yes.
About a year ago. My purpose is not to get involved in your legal strategy or anything like that. I work for the judge, but the results of my work, and it probably will be a report, those results, the report will go to the judge and the defense, your lawyers, and the prosecution. Any of them can call me as a witness if they want to, things like that. Let's see what else I can do here. I have here, I'm going to fill it out, a little form that basically says that I've told you who I am and who I work for, things like that. It also says, if you want to take a look at it with me, it says that, of course, the things we talk about are not confidential, that they may show up in a report, they may show up in testimony at some future time. We're videotaping all the interviews you and I will have. And I want to be sure that you know that, and you recognize the camera back there. Several reasons for videotaping. One is to save me from having to take lots of notes. I'd rather listen to you than take notes. Another reason is to make sure that what I see in here is accurately gotten down. I think that pretty well covers it. You're welcome to sign one of those if you like that says you received it. You don't have to, and I will give you one to keep. Today's 30th. You're right. Okay. So it just says you got it is all. Thank you. Excuse me. Great. And why don't you keep the one you have in your hand? Okay. It just says the same thing. I brought lots of record stuff with me. I guess, do you have any questions about my role, why I'm here? Nope. What I'm going to do? Okay. I expect you and I will chat a couple of times today, a couple of times tomorrow, maybe on Friday. Probably less than 3 hours each time. It's not an endurance contest. If you need to go to the restroom or we need water or something like that, all you got to do is say so. First of all, how was the trip down? You came down a couple of hour drive, isn't it? From
I actually flew part of the way.
You flew?
Yeah.
That's interesting. How, in regular plane or helicopter?
Propeller plane.
Okay. Well, how was the trip?
It was good. It was kind of stormy while we came down. So.
Was it? Small plane, storms, a little scary?
No, it wasn't that small plane.
Okay. I don't like flying myself, but
I think it's fine.
okay. All right. This is your second time to the facility here. SimHip, that's the way they say it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're in the same area that you were in before?
Yeah.
A year ago? Okay. Some of the staff the same, or are they all new?
Some of them are new.
Okay. Okay. Treat me okay?
Yep.
Hi,
How are they
Howie.
treating you at the jail?
Good.
Treat me okay? One of the things I notice about the jail is that it must be very isolated for you.
Yeah, I'm in solitary.
Can you frame for me the reasons that you're in solitary?
I think it was just because there was so much press in public. It would have been unsafe if I was with the general population.
Yeah, that makes sense. But on the other hand, it means you don't get to interact very much with other people.
That's true.
Are there people that you can interact with?
The guards, like when they bring me food and stuff.
Okay. Do they interact with you otherwise? Do they play cards with you or anything like that?
No, nothing like that.
Nothing like that. Okay. Oh, I neglected to mention, and I should. As you can tell, there's a great big window over there. The folks out there can't hear us. I can't hear them anyway. Do you have any concerns about privacy from them?
No,
I think
fine.
Okay. I think we're completely private for them. And I'm a little bit deaf. You can tell I'm wearing hearing aids. If you speak up just a little bit, it'll help me to hear. Okay. We've got lots of time to talk, and we don't have to cover everything, certainly in one day. Can you give me an idea of how you're doing now?
Just keeping to a routine.
To a routine of,
Exercise, reading, sleeping.
okay. Are you getting a bit of exercise?
Yeah.
What kind of exercise are you able to get?
Well, I can do pacing in the cell, and then I do jumping jacks and sit-ups.
Okay. Do you get out of the cell very often?
Usually 2 hours a day. Usually the hallway and it lives out there in the common area.
Okay. And when you do that, you're still by yourself, except for security?
Yes.
Okay. How about yard time?
They do have a yard, but I don't like it. It seems like an enclosed box. There's no grass or anything.
Yeah, it looked kind of stark.
Yeah, it's sparse.
Okay. As I talk with you, I noticed that your pupils are a bit enlarged. Is that normal for you?
They've been enlarged ever since I was in jail.
Okay. That's interesting.
They said it might have been because of the medication.
Okay.
Right off the bat, even the psychiatrist commented on his pupils and asked whether or not it was normal for him to have his pupils dilated that large. And his response was his pupils have been like that since being in jail, and it could be because of the medication. The medication that he is being forced to take while in a federal medical prison.
Does it trouble you, or the light's particularly bright?
No, it doesn't bother me.
Before you went to jail, were they also sometimes enlarged, or do you recall?
No, they were just normal size.
Why do you suppose they're enlarged? I want to look a little bit more closely if you don't mind. Okay.
I don't know.
I don't either.
Yep.
Okay. Let me kind of go through. I'm going to start with some general things that I have written down here. I'm not very organized, so I have to organize myself. Did they tell you that you were coming
Yes.
here? Okay. How much notice did they give you?
Well, so the exact time it was like last Friday. They told me that it would be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay. Was that the way it went last year?
Yeah, they gave me notice last year too.
Okay. How'd you feel about coming down here?
It's kind of a break from the normal routine.
Yeah, I think so. This seems like a better place to be than the jail.
They have better food at least.
Better food?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen your room. Maybe you can show it to me a little later, but is the room nicer than the cell?
The cell's actually bigger because it's in medical and they can house 2 people per room. If it's inside solitary, I get the whole room to myself. So the cell's actually bigger.
Interesting. Okay. I guess the first thing I'd like to do is get you to know you a little bit better. I've only met very briefly in Aurora a week or two ago. What's the first thing I need to know about James Holmes?
Could you be more specific?
I'm a psychiatrist. I'm never specific. It's these open-ended questions. What do you think people or shrinks should know about James Holmes to start off with?
That I'm kind of shy, I guess.
Okay. Kind of a shy fellow.
Yep.
What do you mean by shy?
I don't like to talk a lot.
Is there anybody you like to talk a lot with?
Friends and family.
Friends and family. Have friends or family had any contact with you since you were arrested?
My family has.
Tell me about those contacts, would you?
They were in the jail visits, so they come twice. And they usually write a lot of letters, like 1 letter a week.
Okay. But they visited you in person twice over 2 years?
Yep,
Almost
once a
exactly.
year there.
2 years. Do you remember the first time they visited?
Yep.
Tell me about that.
Well, they had some adventure at IKEA trying to get all this furniture and stuff, but the names were weird.
That was before you were arrested.
No, that was after.
Oh, then I don't understand.
The first time they visited while I was in jail.
I don't understand then the adventure at IKEA.
They had an adventure at IKEA.
And what was that about? I don't understand.
Well, they were just trying to order a bunch of stuff, but like in the warehouse, everything was like different.
And was that the IKEA in Denver, Aurora area, or
San Diego.
in San Diego? Okay. And are you saying that's one of the things they talked
Yeah,
about?
it's one of the things they talked
I see. I was thinking differently. Okay. About when was that first visit?
about. I don't recall exactly.
Do you remember about how long it was after you were arrested?
Maybe 8 months after.
Okay. Do you remember the day you were arrested?
Yep.
What day was it?
July 20th, 2012.
Obviously, I'm testing your memory a little bit. So they visited several months later.
Yeah.
Where did you meet with them?
Just in a visiting room in the jail.
Okay. Was anybody else there?
The lawyers were present too.
Okay. Other than the lawyers and your folks, was any security present, or was it a private visit?
It's a private visit, but then the security are just outside.
Outside. Okay. I'm just going to jot something down here. Do you remember anything else about what they talked about, or what you talked about, or how you felt seeing your parents? You hadn't seen them in a long time.
Yeah, it felt good to see them. That's what we talked about. I don't remember what else.
It was a long time ago. They were, other than your lawyers, they were the first people you saw after you'd been arrested, the first non-custody people.
No, I didn't see them immediately after this.
But I mean, no one else had come to visit you other than your lawyers? Until your parents?
Right. They were the first visitors besides my lawyers.
Okay. You were glad to see him?
Yeah.
Kind of an emotional time?
Yeah.
I would think so. They glad to see you too?
Yep.
Emotional for them?
Yeah.
How did they show the emotion? Do you remember? Did sometimes moms break down a bit?
My lawyer said she broke down when she was leaving, but she held up pretty good while the visit was going on.
Okay. How about you? Did you get a tear in your eye?
Nope.
You ever get tears in your eye?
Yeah.
What brings tears to your eyes sometimes?
Just regrets.
Regret. Can you tell me a little more?
Usually it's before I go to sleep.
Regrets about?
About the shooting.
And usually before you go to sleep?
Yep.
Do you sometimes have trouble sleeping?
Sometimes trouble getting to sleep.
Because of?
I think it's just because I'm sedentary most of the time, so it's hard to get to sleep.
Okay. I certainly want to talk with you about the thoughts about the shooting and what occurred and stuff like that. But I'd like to hear a little more about you before we get into all that. We've got plenty of time.
Okay.
Your parents visited a second time. When was that?
I'm not sure of the exact time.
About?
Maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
What was that visit like?
It was good.
Can you expand on that a little bit?
They just talked about what was going on back in San Diego and how things were going.
You left San Diego 2010, give or take?
Yeah.
Still have friends back there?
They've moved all across the country since then.
You moved out to Colorado to go to school?
Yep.
Why'd you pick Colorado?
Well, for one thing, there's like interesting scenery and lots of things to do. And also the professor's research was interesting to me.
Okay. What were some of the interesting scenery and lots of things to do that you thought?
Well, there's the Rocky Mountains. You can go on hike and stuff.
That's a pretty big deal. There are mountains in California, not quite like the Rockies.
Great.
And then the professor's research you liked. Do you remember what sort of research that was?
Auditory research, research on the hippocampus, research on microRNAs.
Okay. You applied to several schools and got in at several, I understand, and then you chose Colorado over, was Illinois a possibility?
Yeah.
What were the others? Okay.
Illinois, Urbana-Champaign.
Okay. Any other things that made you choose Colorado over Urbana-Champaign?
They offered a training grant at Colorado that was almost twice as much as I would have gotten at Illinois.
That's fair. So how is the living on training grants and stuff? Is that enough to live on?
For me, at least, it is.
Going back a little before that, for a year you were between undergraduate and graduate school, right? Was it about a year?
Yeah.
Tell me about that year.
I was kind of a transition period. So I moved back home with my parents so to save on rent.
Mhm.
And then I got a job in a vitamin factory.
That was the pill coating, right?
Yeah, I was a pill coder.
Coating. I have no idea how people coat pills. How does that work?
There was like a big rotating steel drum and put the pills in there. And there's a bunch of nozzles that shoot, kind of spray the pill paint kind of on it.
And they need somebody to watch it because
Because the nozzles clog and there's temperature fluctuations. And somebody's got to put all the pills in and out of it.
it must dry very quickly or they'd stick together.
It's a very fine coating and it's spinning so it doesn't get stuck together. It's kind of rubbing against all the pills.
Okay. How long did you do that?
3 months.
Was it a good job, a mediocre job? Like it, not like it?
Mediocre job.
In what way?
Well, there's not that much kind of novel or new activities that present itself. It's kind of routine factory work.
Why did you choose that job?
I got offered it from the temp agency.
Okay. So it was a matter of necessity. You needed the job.
Mainly to get out of the house and kind of give my parents a break.
It was full time at the time?
Yeah.
Okay. And why did you leave the job?
To go to all the graduate school interviews and then ultimately go to graduate school.
No credible.
So you didn't get fired or let go or laid off or anything like that?
No, they offered me a permanent position there, but I went to graduate school.
You could have been a permanent pill coder?
Yes, I wouldn't have. I don't think I could do that permanently.
I think I understand. Any other jobs that you had during that year between
Nope.
Okay. Big one?
No.
Okay. What was it like living at home with your folks?
It was all right.
You're grown up, come back home to save money on rent?
Yep.
But you're an adult at that point.
Yeah.
So what's it like living as an adult in home with your parents?
I like living independently in an apartment or with kind of your own rules instead of house rules.
Within the house, what sort of accommodation did you have?
I had my own room. So,
Same room you had before you went away to college?
no, because my sister took over that room because she liked that room better than her room. So I got my sister's old room.
Sounds like it was in the main house and not a separate apartment in the basement or over the garage.
No, it's in the main house.
Not much privacy, I guess.
Well, they got their own room, so privacy, you know.
Before that, you were at Riverside.
Yep.
Tell me about were you there for 4 years?
Yeah.
Tell me about Riverside. I've never been on the campus.
Well, there's not much of a river there. I don't know why they call it rivers, but it used to be a citrus experiment station.
Hmm.
And then it became a university.
Experiment station for what?
Testing out like oranges.
Oh, agricultural stuff.
Yeah, agriculture.
Okay. And tell me more about your college career there. I don't know very much about it.
Well, initially I went to live in the dorms, and that was fun because it was a dorm atmosphere, so you got to meet a bunch of people.
Mhm.
Then I moved to on-campus apartments, and all the while I was studying neuroscience for a Bachelor of Neuroscience.
Did you start out with that major or did you come into the major?
Yeah, I started out with that.
So even before you got to undergraduate college, you were interested in majoring in neuroscience?
Right, in the application for admission, I listed neuroscience major.
Okay. You mentioned you stayed in a dorm for the first how long?
The first year.
Was that a requirement or you chose it? Or?
No, it's just what most of the freshmen do.
Okay. So what's dorm life like? It's been a long time since I've been in a dorm.
It's been a long time since I've been in a dorm too. It's very communal, so you get to know people in the dorm.
How did that work for you? As a guy who you've already said you're kind of shy.
Yeah, so it kind of helped me kind of bridge between new people.
Tell me about some of the people you met.
Well, there was like, my roommate was an entomologist. He kept like tarantulas in his room and stuff.
Really? So did you handle the tarantulas?
I did. I wasn't happy about it though.
I've seen people let them crawl on their hands. You were able to do that?
Yeah, it's not poisonous.
Interesting. You remember that roommate's name?
Dale Halberger.
Dale
Halberger.
Albritter. Whatever happened to Dale, do you know?
I think he moved to Florida to study entomology for a PhD.
Okay. So that was your roommate. Who else did you meet in the dorm?
I met a mechanical engineering major, computer science majors.
Was it a dorm that focused on science and engineering, or was that just
It was a
by chance?
honors dorm, so it was people who came in with high GPAs.
Wow. Okay. That's right. You did very well in both undergraduate and high school, didn't you?
Yeah.
Let me stick with college for just a minute, but I do want to hear about the high school. Tell me more about college life for James Holmes.
Well, I was like going out to dinner with friends, going to the dorm, dinner with friends, and sometimes partying, and lots of studying.
Lots of studying. Even smart guys have to study a lot.
Yeah, there's like no way around not studying.
Going out to dinner. Are you getting a little money from home at that point? Do you have an outside job? Or?
I had a full ride, so I had my tuition paid for, and then my parents are really nice, and they paid for the dorm and kind of food expenses and stuff.
Okay. How nice is real nice? How much money did they give you?
I don't know exactly. I didn't count the means.
But it was enough to live okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a car? What kind of car was it?
Hyundai Tiburon, kind of a sporty coupe.
Okay. So some meals in the dorm, some meals out, and occasional party.
Yeah.
Tell me about the party.
Well, what's there to tell? It's just partying again.
You don't have to tell me any illegal partying, but the rest of the party. The rest of the party.
It was just with friends and alcohol.
Did you drink quite a bit in college or no?
No, I wasn't a huge drinker. Only social.
What is social? What is that to you?
A place where drinking is a big focus, I guess.
Did you ever get so drunk you passed out?
No.
Really?
I'm part Irish.
Okay. So you can hold it better than that. Did you ever get so drunk that you felt like you couldn't drive?
I would usually carpool with whoever.
Okay. Safe thing to do.
Yep.
Did you ever get so drunk that you did something that you didn't remember later?
Probably, but then I don't remember what it was. Yeah.
At these parties, what would folks be doing?
Talking, playing video games. That kind of thing.
Where might they take place?
At a house.
Anywhere else? At a bar or a beach?
No, usually house parties or apartment parties.
Okay. What kind of folks would go to the party?
Just my friends.
So far, you've told me about 2 friends. I'm assuming there were more than 3 people there.
Yeah, I had more than 2 friends.
Males, females?
Both.
Both. How about female friends in college?
I didn't have girlfriends. I had female friends.
Things sometimes get wild at the party.
I wasn't really partying that party was like once a year type of thing. So
Say that again, I'm sorry.
partying was like once a year type of thing.
Oh, really?
So it's not,
Once a year partying.
yeah, it wasn't like a everyday party or,
I'm not sure that's going to be good for Riverside's reputation as a party school if the parties only happen once a year.
well, for me, since I was in the honors program and everything.
Okay. Did you have any difficulties that you remember in college, those undergraduate years?
No, it's pretty smooth sailing.
Academic difficulties, social difficulties, work difficulties, ceiling fell in on your head. Any difficulties you can think of?
No, it was pretty straightforward.
How far was your accommodation at Riverside from your home in San Diego?
I think it's an hour and a half at the speed I drive.
Okay. Which is
Fast.
fast. You drive pretty fast. Okay. Okay. See, I don't exactly know the Southern California geography.
Riverside's kind of inland of LA,
Okay.
so the kind of logistical hub.
Okay. So beach party probably out of the question.
You'd have to drive a ways.
How often did you go back and forth to the home in San Diego?
Not very often, maybe once every 3 or 4 months.
Did your folks ever come up to Riverside?
Yeah, they checked it out. They took the tour, the initial tour.
How did they feel about you going away to college?
I guess they were proud.
Proud?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You're the older of your siblings, right?
Yeah, a younger sister by about 5 years.
Okay. And I'll ask you a little bit about the family in a few minutes too. Okay. Now let's go to high school. What was high school like?
It was good.
Tell me about it. Public school, private school, magnet school, charter school?
Public school, it was like newly constructed. We were the first full graduating class.
Ah. Okay. What kinds of things did you enjoy, not enjoy in high school?
I enjoyed the schoolwork and hanging out with friends.
Okay. Any particular kind of schoolwork you enjoyed?
Math and science and history.
Any particular kind of science?
Biology.
Okay.
I don't like physics very much.
Biology and math. What level of math did you get to in high school? I'm curious.
Introductory calculus.
Okay. You had no trouble with that in high school, obviously. Right.
No, I passed.
Sounds like you did more than pass. I've seen your grades. You were like summa cum laude or something like that. You had
Oh, they don't have that for
Like
high
a-
school.
like a 3.9 or something. Do you remember what your
For high school, I had a 4.0,
4.0? Holy cow.
and then for college, I had 3.949 or something.
Wow. There's an interesting thing about that high school grade that I noticed in the records. And I've, as you might imagine, I've looked at a number of records, and there are a lot of records I haven't seen yet. You had a 4.0 average, and yet you were like 80th in your class. How does that come about? The 4.0 sounds to me like you're
The top, yeah.
tied for number one or something.
Advanced placement classes, which are based on a 5.0 scale. So if you get an A in there, you go above the 4.0.
I see. Were you in a lot of AP classes?
Yeah, I took AP Computer Science, AP History, AP Calculus.
You mentioned history twice. What kind of history did you like?
I liked European civilizations better than U.S. history, I thought.
Really?
And,
Any particular portion of European civilization?
it's been a while, but I guess like the monarchy of Louis XIV, everything.
Any particular reason you can think of that you liked European better than U.S.?
I think it was because it was more general and it wasn't like super specific compared to U.S. history because there's not as much U.S. history.
That's true. We've only been around, at least the Caucasian portion has only been around for a little less than 300 years.
Yeah.
In high school, social life?
Yeah, go out with my friends and do stuff.
When you say go out with your friends, what friends, how many, where'd you go? I'm a curious person.
My friends were in high school, and I made my friends in middle school, like, and they continued on in high school.
Okay, so they traveled with you to the high school?
Yep.
Okay. Males, females, mixture?
Mostly males.
What'd you guys like to do?
Play video games.
Any particular video games you liked?
StarCraft.
I'm trying to think what the video games were at that time. I don't remember specifically what was around.
It's a real-time strategy.
Okay. Athletics, interesting, were they?
Yeah, it was in cross country, and I played JV soccer.
Okay. Cross country and soccer. Tell me about cross country.
There was a lot of running, and it's usually like 100 people are in like one race or whatever.
So although you're out there running you're away from a stadium, etc., there are lots of people in the race.
Yeah.
Where would you be in that group at the end of the race?
Probably like 30th out of 100 or something.
Okay. So you held your own, it sounds like.
Yep.
Okay. Any other areas of track that you ran or that you did?
I did the 800 when I was in middle school on a track team.
Okay. Pretty good at it?
Like third or fourth, usually.
Okay. Certainly held your own. Okay. Tell me about soccer.
Oh, I played soccer since I was in elementary school. Oh, and I always played defense.
Okay. Defense in JV in high school.
Yep.
So there would be games with other schools?
Yeah.
And what position did you play defense?
Either I could play any defense, right back, sweeper, stopper, back.
Did you continue either running or playing soccer into college?
I played intramural soccer in college.
Okay. The whole 4 years?
No, just 1 year.
Okay. Was it an active team?
Yep, we play other intramural teams.
Okay. And still defense?
Yep.
Okay.
What are you guys thinking about this so far? I personally agree with Mama and what she said. It doesn't seem like he has a whole lot to say. It seems like he only responds if a question is asked. He doesn't give a whole lot of additional information. And I think it's really sad because the documents did show he was being forced to take medication, and I'm pretty sure still is. And that could be a huge part as to why he's in a federal medical facility. And he said at the beginning he's mostly alone in the prison. So that all of that just doesn't seem great for the psyche.
A girlfriend in high school?
No, though some asked.
No.
Some asked.
Some asked?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said?
I don't know what I said.
A lot of the high school kids I know would love to be asked. Did you go out when you were asked or no?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Nowadays I would ask how my boyfriends.
No, I don't find that okay.
Okay. Okay. You know, I saw something in the record that was interesting, but I didn't know the context of it. Don't know whether it was when you were in high school or college. It was a video that you were in, I think. Do you recall making a video with some guys?
Probably for a school project.
Do you remember what that was about? What that was? What the video was?
No.
I'm remembering one in which it looks like the characters were playing war roles, army roles.
It
You
was
remember?
on All Quiet on the Western Front by Hemingway.
Tell me what that was, because I couldn't figure it out from the video.
It's just a scene, I think, from the book.
Do you think it was for school?
Yeah, it was for school.
So, tell me about the project. It sounds interesting.
Well, I don't remember anything else besides that.
you remember what part you played?
I think I was a soldier.
Did you operate the camera as well, or do
No,
any
I
of
don't
the-
think so.
any of the directing? You were a soldier.
Yeah.
I know one of the soldiers got shot and was laying face down. Would that have been you?
I don't remember.
Okay. I'm just curious. Any other videos or video type experience or dramatics that you recall?
I think there was a Salk video from Salk Institute where I did a presentation on kind of temporal relations.
Tell me about that experience at the Salk Institute and what you did there.
The experience?
Mhm.
Well, every Friday we'd have like a learning synopsis or something. And then most of the time we're working on the project in a lab.
How did you get to the Salk Institute?
I applied. It was an internship
And when was this? Give me some context, if you would.
at the end of high school, before college. So it was like a 3-month internship.
So tell me about that. How did you find out about it? What made you want to do it? What did you end up doing?
Well, they advertised at our school, like over the monitor system. And so I applied and I did computer programming for my research project.
You were there for 3 months.
Yeah, I believe so.
Did you get paid for that?
Yep.
Imagine it looked good on your resume.
I guess so.
When you say computer programming for it, what sort of programming, what were you doing with that?
I was doing Adobe Flash programming. I made a Flickr Fusion utility. It's a way to tell the RGB values between different monitors. So there's like a flickering light, and then you adjust the red, green, blue so that it doesn't flicker, and that gives you a value specific to that monitor's resolution.
And what did that have to do with what the Salk Institute was doing?
That was what was happening in the specific lab I'm doing. So that was a project. And they had another project, which was to make a rock, paper, scissors game that had like a temporal illusion in it.
I don't understand.
So I had to make the rock, paper, scissors look like it appeared before you press your rock, paper, scissors in a rock, paper, scissors game.
Did it purport to predict yours or to beat you or what?
It created an adaptation, so it had a series of delays before it would show the rock, paper, scissors image, and then it built those delays so that you couldn't detect them normally. They're kind of subconscious, and then when it removes the delays, it appears that the computer goes before the person does.
Let me see if I understand. So it appears that the computer predicted the person's action when it didn't really? I'm not sure I understand.
Right. It predicts like the counter move to the human's move, but it shows it the computer's move first before you make your move.
I think I'm catching on. I think I'm okay. But the purpose was for the computer to beat the person.
Yeah, and make it look like the computer wasn't cheating.
Interesting. Interesting. Gee. Was it pretty competitive to get that position for the summer?
Yeah, I think there were like 4 other people who were interviewing at the same lab I was, and then there were other labs too.
At that point, had you already gotten into Riverside?
I think the chronology of it was I had already got accepted.
Okay. What was the house like in San Diego?
2-story kind of Spanish villa, cookie cutter housing in suburbia. We had a pool in the back.
You stayed in the same house the whole time that you lived in San Diego with your family?
Well, initially we lived in San Diego in a different house. We moved up north and then moved back down to San Diego. So we lived in a different house.
You moved back down from middle school, I understand it.
Yeah, at the end of 6th grade.
Okay. And then you stayed in that house for the duration.
Right.
Okay. And that house was the two-story span.
Yeah.
The people in the house were
My family.
your family. Tell me about the family. Mom, dad, and I understand one sister.
Well, my mom's a nurse. I think she does more administrative work than kind of the hands-on nurse stuff. My dad's retired. He used to work in statistical kind of analysis, doing the ASVAB testing kind of thing. And then he went on to work in Fair Isaac, which works on countering credit card fraud, predicting models.
And what was the name? You said
Fair Isaac.
Fair Isaac.
Yeah.
That's the name of the
company.
Okay. Okay. So both mom and dad were working when you were living there in middle school and high school?
Yep.
Okay. Sister was going to school?
Yeah.
Okay. How would you describe the family?
Typical suburban family.
And what's that for you, for Southern California? I've never lived in Southern California.
I don't know how to describe it.
Pick some adjectives.
Happy family. Is well-rounded.
Well-rounded. In the sense of what?
I don't know.
I don't either. I've been trying to read minds for years and I've never been able to. So you kind of got to help me.
I just get well-rounded in general.
Is warm a word you use to describe the family?
Yeah,
Heard that
loving
too.
too.
I'm sorry?
Loving.
Loving. How did folks in the family show warm and loving?
Just talking to each other.
Did they touch each other much?
Hugs.
And how about you? Were you one of the warm, loving folks too?
Yep.
Was that a bit different from what you describe as a little shyness in other places?
I wasn't really shy around my own family.
Would you be a hugger too with the family?
Yeah.
Tell me about your sister.
Well, she's really into making music, writing songs, playing on the guitar. And she's friendly. Adventurous things.
Adventures. Has she been all those things since you were younger? Since she was younger?
Yeah.
What's your relationship prior to being arrested? What's your relationship been like with your sister?
Caring and supportive.
And what?
Supportive.
Supportive. When you were in high school, she was then 5 years younger.
Yeah.
Would you see her regularly in the house? Or would you be off doing other things?
In the family room or in the backyard.
Almost a kid sister, not quite. Did she get in the way of some of the things you and your friends wanted to do? Was she a pest or no?
Sometimes when I was younger, she was kind of a little intrusive. Wanted to do exactly what I was doing, that kind of thing.
She must have looked up to you.
Yeah.
What did she think of her big brother?
Well, you'd have to ask her.
Yeah, you know what did she think of her big brother?
I don't know.
You can speculate.
Just a really good big brother, I guess.
Did you protect her, or did you need to protect her a bit, or no?
Oh, there was no need to protect her from me.
Okay. Then you went away to college, hour and a half, 2 hours away from the house.
And then I usually didn't see her because I was away at college.
Right back and forth, call back and forth, email, text.
No, we kept pretty much apart, I guess.
Did you know what was going on in her life?
Not that much. No.
Did she keep up with what was going on in your life?
I don't think so.
Send you emails? Or...
No.
enough juice there
Yep.
to wet your whistle. You mentioned that your folks write to you pretty regularly. Do you hear from your sister much?
She came on the last visit. I got to hear what she was up to.
What was it like for you to see her?
Pretty much the same as seeing my parents.
And that was?
Just a good experience.
How did she react to seeing you?
Just normally.
What do you mean? Because I wasn't there. I kind of have to look at it through your eyes. How did she react to seeing you?
Whatever normal is. I guess that's what it is.
Can you show me a mental picture or a video picture of what that was like? What she looked like when she saw you?
Well, she was glad to see me. She wasn't sad or anything.
Did she or your parents seem concerned about you?
My mom seemed concerned.
In what way?
Just to see if I was doing okay.
How about your dad?
He wasn't like showing the concern at least.
Sis?
She didn't show any concern either.
Do you think they were concerned even though they didn't show it, or do you think they just didn't give it on?
I think they were concerned.
You get any letters from your sister?
Nope. Mainly my mom and dad write the letters.
Has your sister not written you at all?
I think she wrote me once, but I'm not sure.
What do you think of that?
I guess pretty much we're living different lives.
Is lack of contact what you would expect from your sister and your relationship with your sister?
Yeah, since pretty much it was the same since I've been in college.
Edward 2, Edward 2.
But you described a pretty normal brother-sister relationship.
Right.
And now what you're describing is almost no brother-sister or sister-brother relationship.
Yeah, we kind of went in separate directions.
Sounds more than that.
I don't know what to say.
Do you ever wonder why she doesn't write?
No, I never really thought about it.
Really? You love your sister?
Yep.
You believe she loves you?
Yeah.
I'm still curious about why she doesn't write.
I don't know. You have to ask her why she doesn't write.
Do you know where she is?
I think she's still living in San Diego. I think she's got her own apartment now.
Do you know if she's married?
I know she's not married.
Not married? No kids? Or do you know one way or the other?
No, she doesn't have any kids.
Do you know where she's living in San Diego?
I don't know the exact address
How do you know she's still in San Diego?
because of the recent visit that she was at with my parents.
Mom writes you every week or so?
Yep.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Okay. What kinds of things does she write to her son?
Pretty much things that are happening on the outside and usually her support and that kind of thing.
Did she tell you much about your sister?
Yeah, she would say like my sister was working at a sub sandwich place.
The letters usually come from mom? From both mom and dad?
My dad usually writes once a month.
He doesn't write as often. What do you
usually
think?
writes a big letter. Yeah.
Would you say he writes a big letter once a month and mom writes short letters once a week? Is that what you mean? Or no?
No, my mom writes like medium letters.
What do you make of the fact that dad doesn't write as much?
I think that's kind of his personality, is that he's kind of distant.
What do you think mom and dad feel about having a son who was arrested in jail, arrested for the shootings? How do you think that's affected them?
Negatively.
Can you expand on that?
I don't know what to say.
Speculate a little for me, would you? Kind of trying to put yourself in their place, or what you think is going on with them when they think about it.
I guess it makes them sad.
Do you know how they first found out about the shooting?
They were called on the night of the shooting.
Do you have any idea how they reacted?
They contacted lawyers, trying to get a lawyer for me.
How about their reacting inside? How do you suppose they react?
That they were troubled by it.
That's a kind of a vague word. Can you be more specific about what you think they might have felt inside?
Grief, maybe.
How do you think you would have reacted if it were your son?
I want to help them as soon as possible.
Any other reactions?
I'd be sad as well.
Sad for? Can you flesh that out a bit?
Sad for my son getting incarcerated.
Flesh it out a little more.
It really seems like the psychiatrist is having to either push or like volunteer him to dig deeper for a lot of these questions. He doesn't seem to give a whole lot of information. It is so weird. And he doesn't seem to have a lot of emotion, like at all.
I don't know.
If Hemingway were writing about it, like the video that y'all did on Quiet on the Western Front, what might Hemingway have written about what the parents think and feel when they get that call and over the next few hours?
Had they be tear stricken and kind of taken by surprise.
Going back to childhood a little bit more. You came back to San Diego in middle school. Tell me where you were up north. What was it?
It's called Salinas.
In Salinas, okay. That's north and toward the coast? No, it's over the coast range from the coast, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
It's near the coast.
Okay. And what was Salinas like?
It was pretty agricultural. They grew lots of strawberries and artichokes. And it was a big canyon behind my house.
And why were your folks there? Why did the family move to Salinas?
My dad got a job up there.
What sort of job?
Doing the statistical work for the ASVAB testing.
For?
ASVAB testing. That's the testing to see like where people in the military should be placed.
Okay. And what was home like in Salinas?
Peaceful, rural, active. It was pretty active.
Show me the video. Show me the video in my mind so I can see.
Well, I played capture the flag in the canyon with my friends, and played basketball and flag football, that kind of thing.
Was your house in town or outside of town?
It was also kind of suburban, so it was outside of the town.
Okay. What kind of house was it that time?
Single story, thatched roof, pretty typical kind of house.
Thatched roof.
I don't know if that's the correct term or not. Just like the wooden shingle roof.
Okay. Did you have your own room?
Yep.
Okay. And how would you describe the family in that home?
Typical.
I don't know what typical is.
That's what the mainstream is.
Every family's different. Tell me what family in that home was like.
Active. Very busy, energetic.
Doing what?
Just going about your day. Kind of thing.
But I don't know what the day was to go about. You're the one that's picturing it in your mind, and I can't see the picture.
Right. I can't transfer pictures in my mind.
Try.
Uh,
Tell me what you're seeing in your mind.
Just making pizzas. Digging holes in the ground, kind of creating a water park.
That sounds interesting. Tell me about that.
Well, I'd get a shovel and dig a giant hole and then fill it up with water and jump inside of it.
A homemade water park.
Yep.
I'll bet the water wasn't crystal clear.
Very muddy.
Where's mom when you're digging the hole in the backyard or wherever you dug the hole?
In the house, doing whatever it is she does.
Where's Chris?
Either digging the hole with me or watching TV.
So little sister sometimes did things with big brother.
Yep.
Okay. Did she go by Chris or Chrissy?
She went by Chrissy, but then later she wanted to go by Chris.
Okay. And how about you? What were you called around the house?
When I was little, I was Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Yep.
At home and school, or
Yep, everywhere.
when did Jimmy become James?
College.
How did that change come about?
I don't know if there was an evolution of it or not. It just kind of sort of changed since it was a new environment. And that was my given name was James. That kind of became what I was called.
Usually people call you what you introduce yourself as.
Yeah, so I guess I introduced myself as James.
Is there a difference between the way James sounds and the way Jimmy sounds?
Jimmy sounds a little.
I agree. Okay. Folks still call you Jimmy?
I don't know what they call me. I think they call me James.
Okay. What did they call you the last time they were here?
Jim.
What does your mom call you when she says dear blank on the letters?
Oh. I guess it's Jimmy. I don't know.
Okay. How about your dad? How does he start the letters?
I think it's Jimmy as well.
Is that okay with you, or would you
Yeah, it's
sometimes
fine.
correct them?
No, I don't.
Okay. The neighborhood in Salinas was, what kind of neighborhood? You said the word suburban.
Yeah, it was a good neighborhood.
Okay.
We knew our neighbors and everything.
Okay. What kinds of people were they?
One ran like a jewelry shop, and the other was a kind of artist at a penitentiary.
An artist at a penitentiary.
He teaches like an art class at the penitentiary.
That's an interesting neighbor to have. And the kids you played with, what were they like?
Typical rambunctious kids.
Were you one of the rambunctious ones? Or no?
Yep.
What's rambunctious in being in Salinas, California?
Very energetic, kind of always doing something.
Like what? Besides digging holes and filling them with water and jumping?
Playing video games.
More video games than outside, or more outside than video games?
When I was a kid, it was more outside.
How about in high school?
It was video games more.
Would you say your video game career in high school was similar to your friends, or more or less?
I'd say similar.
How about in college?
Then I was mostly working, but it was still more video games than outside.
Did there come a time when your relationship with your mom changed as you grew up? Changed significantly?
No, I think we've always been close.
How about with your father? Did there come a time when that relationship changed in any particular or significant way over those years?
No, it stayed pretty much the same.
And what would that relationship with your father have been back then? What were the adjectives you used to describe it?
Well, he was my soccer coach for a number of years. And I don't know.
What's it like having a father who's the coach? I mean, he's coaching everybody, including you, I would imagine. But he's also your dad. What's that like?
It's pretty normal.
I don't know what you mean.
Um, I don't know. He's just kind of a dad and a coach.
Was he fair?
Yeah.
Did he favor you over the other kids?
No, he was fair.
Did he disfavor you over the other kids, just to be fair?
No, not really.
What are the three nicest things your dad ever did for you?
Well, he paid for most of my car payment. I paid 1,000. He paid like 7,000. Took me to the beach. Had ice cream and stuff. He helped me move.
Helped you move to college?
Yeah.
Okay. Car payment, taking you to the beach, helping you move. I gotta pick one now. How about taking you to the beach? What was that like going to the beach with your dad?
It was good. We got to spend family time together.
How old are you in that picture?
Still called Jimmy, so the elementary school.
When was the last time you can remember going to the beach with dad or with family?
Years ago.
Years. What was the last family thing you remember doing with family?
Christmas in Arizona with my uncle and family.
And about how old were you then?
23.
Tell me about that Christmas trip.
Well, there wasn't any snow in Arizona.
Darn.
Yeah, but we just drove up together and spent the Christmas together.
Would that have been when you were staying with your folks, or was that after you came
That was once I came to Colorado.
to Colorado? So you went back home for Christmas?
Yeah.
Or back to San Diego for Christmas, and then to Arizona to spend it with your uncle. And who all was with your uncle's family?
It was only him.
Just your uncle?
Yeah.
Your mother's brother?
Yes.
Was he sick at that time?
He had like a rare cancer in his eye or something. He had to go to UCLA for treatment.
I'm aware that one of her brothers, or maybe her only brother, passed away.
Oh, she has two brothers, but yeah, that was the brother. He got cancer in his liver and then he passed away.
Okay, so that was the brother who died?
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody was living with him in Arizona? An aunt?
His
or cousin?
wife was, so my aunt, she had like a brain aneurysm. And she had like some susceptible brain aneurysm condition in her family.
So was she deceased by that time? Or
Yeah, she was deceased.
Did they have kids?
Nope.
Do you have any cousins?
Yep, I have two.
Okay, where are they from? Which people?
They're from my mother's other brother. And I think they're living in Iowa now, or Idaho now.
What did you put up here? So there would be your Uncle Andy and your Uncle Dexter on your mother's side.
Uncle Dexter was the one with cancer.
Okay. And on your dad's side, you have Uncle James, who you may have been named after, I suppose,
I don't know if they came down there.
and Aunt Betty. Okay. And then tell me again, I'm sorry, I forgot the cousins. Two cousins.
Stephanie and Holly.
Stephanie and Holly. What are they like, and were you close to them?
Yeah, we had a trip together in Lake Tahoe with the family. They were going to do kayaking or something, but it was super windy, so they didn't. We went to miniature golf instead.
That's quite a step down from kayaking, miniature golf. Kayaking's up here, miniature golf is down
I
here.
guess so, if
Unless
you
we're
wanna
really
like-
into miniature golf. Yeah.
But it was too windy for the little kids to do kayak.
Roughly how old were you at that time?
I think I was 20.
And the cousins are about how old?
I think they're about 10 years younger.
So they were a lot younger.
Yeah.
Did they communicate with you at all in college or send you letters to jail?
No,
Any idea what's happened to them?
I think they moved to Idaho.
Any idea what they're doing
Probably learning how to drive.
based on their age?
Yeah, basically.
Any other family things that you remember? I'll go back and do the same thing with your mom as I did with your dad. He nicely told me three things, the three most important things your dad did. Let's hear the three most important things that you can think of that your mom has done for you.
All wrote me letters. Took me to the zoo. During like a Where's Waldo adventure thing. Made spaghetti together.
Took you to the zoo, roughly what age?
7 or 8
Okay. And the Where's Waldo adventures would be
at the zoo.
at the zoo. Oh. And making spaghetti together. That's the one I'm going to pick for you to tell me more about.
Okay, well, we were boiling spaghetti, and then she had to test to see if it was al dente, and she threw a piece of spaghetti onto the cabinet, and kind of she left it there, and then when she took it off, it stripped the paint of the cabinet.
Really? So you were about how old? That little kid or big kid?
Old enough to cook.
Was she teaching you to make spaghetti, or was she just letting you help her make the spaghetti?
A bit of both.
Were there other times when she taught you things?
Yeah.
Like what?
I can't remember.
Try a little bit. What else did she teach you? Your mom?
Just art projects.
I'm sorry?
Art projects.
Art project.
No, art.
Art project. Okay. I told you I was a little deaf. What sorts of art projects?
Like paper mache stuff, tie dye T-shirts.
Was it just you that she was teaching, or was it other people too?
My little sister too.
Sorry?
My little sister as well.
Little sister too. So you'd make paper mache at home?
Yeah, stuff like that, like Easter egg coloring, that kind of thing.
How old are you at these times when she's teaching you art projects?
7 or 8.
Good memories?
Yep.
So do you still do any of that? The art projects, the cooking?
I do the cooking. I don't do the art project.
Before you went to jail, what did you like to cook?
Pizza, rice and chili, and chicken.
Why did you mention pizza? You're talking about making pizza from scratch.
No, not when I was cooking. Initially, we made pizza from scratch for like this school thing, to like feed everybody in the class or something. She helped with that. But since then, I do the frozen pizza cooking because it tastes better.
A little easier too, I imagine.
Yeah.
Did you cook much in college?
Once I got my own apartment, I cooked more. Not in the dorms though, because they feed you a meal plan.
Ever cook for other people in college or in grad school when you had your own apartment? Did you cook much for other people?
Once I cooked for others. I was on Valentine's Day for my girlfriend.
What did you cook on Valentine's Day for your girlfriend?
Kind of French fried onion chicken with mixed vegetables and rice.
French fried onion chicken.
There's like some topping that like French fried onions that you can put on chicken.
Okay.
Makes it tasty.
And how was the cooking? How was the chicken prepared?
Baked.
So you baked the chicken?
Yep.
And put French fried onion on top
Topping on it. Yeah.
and had mixed vegetables. What else?
I had shrimp and then ice cream.
I was going to say your girlfriend's going to expect dessert.
Yeah.
And that was the ice cream?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did you do that?
In my apartment.
At your apartment? And when was that?
Valentine's Day. Uh, I don't know which year, but whichever year I was in graduate school.
It was in grad school, so it was in Colorado.
Yeah.
And which girlfriend was that? Gargi?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How did that evening turn out?
Okay.
Good Valentine's Day?
Yep.
You got to tell me more than just yep for Valentine's Day. Tell me more.
I don't usually celebrate Valentine's.
But you were that time.
Yeah.
So tell me more about the dinner and the evening with Gargi.
Well, I lit candles, good smelling candles, and then we watched videos on Netflix.
Sounds like a nice evening.
Yep.
Good smelling candles. The candles were because you liked the candles or because you thought she might like the candles?
Because I like the candles.
You like the candles. Okay. And who picked the Netflix movies?
I don't remember what we did watch.
Do you remember who picked them?
I think she did.
You may not remember the exact movie, but what kind of movie do you suppose it was?
Well, we watched Saturday Night Live music videos. So they had like music videos.
Music. Do you like music?
Yeah.
What kind of music do you like?
Electronic music.
Really? Electronic as in techno or
Yeah,
electronic
techno.
as in synths?
Techno music.
Really?
Yeah.
I know nothing about techno music.
I don't know that much about
What,
it.
tell me more about the kind of music that techno is or that you like.
It's just got a rhythmic repetition to it. And it's usually a lot of keyboard and kind of electronic sound.
Do you like it with the video or do you like it just the music
I like it just
through the
music.
headphones? Okay. You like it better with headphones or you like it?
Yeah, I usually listen to it privately.
Okay. And that was really my question. Thank you. Yeah. If you were by yourself listening to it, would you tend to use phones or would you tend to use a speaker?
Headphones.
So when you're doing that, what do you get into? What are those thoughts that you get into when the music is all between your ears, nothing outside that?
It kind of helps me focus. So I use it a lot when I was reading academic journals. To kind of wash out excess sounds.
Okay. And when listening to it, bringing the knowledge in through your eyes was okay. It didn't distract you from your reading.
No.
Any other kind of music you like?
Just pop music, stuff that's on the car stereo.
Any favorite artists or writers?
Katy Perry, I guess.
Going back into college, even back to high school, what kind of music did you like and who were the artists that you liked?
Still electronic music. There's an artist like Tiesto.
Tiesto?
He's an electronic.
Can you spell? Can you spell it?
Tiesto.
So the name is Tiesto. It's not initials. It's Tiesto.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go look that up.
Okay.
Okay. Did you enjoy dancing to the techno music or just listening?
No, not the answer.
Not an answer at all?
No, not really.
Ever been dancing?
No.
Okay. Was Gargi an answer that you like to dance?
She wasn't an answer either.
Other girls that you've been out with, I don't know who they are. Can you name some other girls that you've been out with in college or high school?
Well, all the others have been friends.
So going out with a friend, not a quote date, or am I wrong?
Going out with a friend instead of a girlfriend.
Okay. When about was the first person you would consider a girlfriend date or somebody that you wanted to become a girlfriend date? If that makes sense.
That was probably graduate school with Gargi.
Okay. So in college, there wasn't anybody that I'm saying that badly. In college, you didn't particularly want to develop a relationship with a girl? Or
I
am wrong?
did, but she wanted to be friends.
Okay. Okay. And it takes two, doesn't it?
Yes.
It does. Tell me about her wanting to be a friend. Tell me about that situation.
well, she just didn't show any romantic interest.
Say that again?
She didn't show any romantic interest.
Okay. When was it? What kind of person was it?
When was it? It was in beginning of undergraduate.
So what was she like?
Kind of bubbly, cheerful.
Tall, short, blonde, dark hair?
Black hair, mid height.
What was the circumstance where you met her?
She lived in a nearby dorm.
But you've got to meet her somehow.
So I met her in the dorm setting, in the common area.
So what did you do? How did you meet her, introduce yourself? What did you do?
I don't remember that.
What do you think you did?
Just said hello.
Do you remember how she reacted?
I don't remember. No.
But you do remember some things. You do remember that you were, to use your word, romantically interested, and she apparently wasn't, right?
Yeah, she was Persian, so I think she had a cultural barrier. Her family wanted her to be with another Persian.
How hard did you try?
Not very hard.
What did you do to try?
Just spend time with her.
Ask her out?
Nope.
How about the next romantic interest? Or possibility of romantic interest?
That was probably when I was in my summer job as a camp counselor with another camp counselor.
And that was Max something camp?
Yeah, Camp Max Strauss.
Okay. So that was between a couple of the years of your undergraduate?
Yeah.
Okay. Between freshman and sophomore, junior?
Well, I think it was sophomore junior.
Okay. Tell me about that one. Tell me about that one.
Well, we went on a date to the movies, and it was just hard to get started.
Both camp counselors?
Yeah.
I do hear wild things about those camp counselors.
Yeah.
You went on a date to the movies. What happened?
We went back to the rec room at the camp. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we just didn't go any further.
What kind of a girl was she?
Cheerful and bubbly, easy to talk to, nice.
And if I were to talk with her, what would she say about what kind of a man or boy you were?
Probably that I was shy, and kind.
Kind?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about kind.
Just be nice to her, I guess.
Did you have any other dates with her?
Yeah. We went walking around a club in Hollywood.
Now you got me interested. That club in Hollywood.
Yeah, and we didn't go inside. We had walked around
A club like what kind of?
like a dance club.
But you didn't go inside to dance.
No,
Do you think she wanted to?
no.
Where is Camp Max Strauss?
It's in Glendale, California, kind of just north of LA.
So it's a good distance from Hollywood.
Maybe like 30, 45 minutes.
So you went on a date. You need to fill in some of the blanks because I'm getting confused here. How'd you get from 2 counselors to Camp Strauss to 2 young people walking around the club in Hollywood?
When we carpooled with some people who were going to the club, I actually had to drive back because they were so drunk.
Okay. And you and she decided not to go in.
Yeah.
Was it one of those clubs where the doorman might not let you in? Or could you have gone in if you wanted to?
It might have been a 21 and over club. I don't remember.
Okay. And at that point, you weren't 21 yet?
No, I was 20.
Okay. What else would she have said about you? You said shy, you said kind. What else would she have said about you?
Funny, caring, smart. That's about it.
So 5 adjectives
Yeah.
covers the waterfront
Whole
with
spectrum.
James Holmes. Okay. Does it really?
Oh, well, you can't sum up a person in 5 adjectives.
I agree. So give me some more to work with here.
I don't know if more will help though.
Give it a shot.
Quiet. Friendly. I don't know.
At Camp Max Strauss, lots of counselors, lots of kids, and lots of social stuff, kind of like one sees at a camp, or not.
Yeah, there's a lot of social stuff.
Tell me what kind of camp it was. I did get some information about it, but I don't remember. What kind of camp was it?
Well, there was horses, there's a pool, there's a rock climbing gym place, a game room, a recreation hall for like music, and then a big field where they can just do free stuff.
So it wasn't set way back in the mountains, but it was in the country. Is that accurate?
It's kind of in a suburban place too, but it like borders on a mountain. There's a bunch of rattlesnakes in there.
Really?
Yeah, we had trouble once because like heard the rattlesnake rattle and all the kids wanted to get a look at the rattlesnake.
Really?
Yeah,
What happened?
kind of blocked them off from looking.
What'd you do besides block them off?
Say that they shouldn't be, going towards rattlesnakes.
So, did you see the rattlesnake?
Yeah,
Drive it away, kill it, let it alone? What?
no, I just left it alone.
How old were the kids roughly?
It varied in age from about 8 to 12, and they'd have their separate cabins based on age.
Counselors were in cabins with the kids or in separate cabins?
The counselors were in the cabins with their kids group, so that's kind of the group they would counsel, take and involve activities.
For a shy guy, that sounds like a pretty social setting.
Yeah.
You got little kids running around and you got to take care of them and you got to teach them things and supervise them and then work with other counselors and is that kind of what it was like? Or what
Yeah,
was it
pretty
like?
much. We'd
Oh.
sing them songs too. Like,
Really? How long were you there? The whole time?
Yeah, that was,
So you'd sing them songs, the group would sing songs.
yeah, the camp songs.
Somebody play a guitar or piano.
No, it wasn't like that.
Was it like that? What was it like?
It was around a big kind of fire pit, but we didn't have any fires because it's wildfire season or whatever. So we had it around the big pit is where all the kids would group up, and we take them to like breakfast or their activities or whatever.
You remember any of those songs?
Yeah.
Tell me.
I sing On Top of Spaghetti. There's a song about
Okay.
spaghetti.
I think I've heard it.
Like,
Do you remember?
you're not gonna make me sing it, are you?
Oh, sure. Go ahead and sing it.
No, I don't want to sing. Okay.
To the tune of On Top of Old Smoky, right?
On Top of Spaghetti. Oh, okay.
But the
Smokey
tune-
the Bear's on like a different.
On Top of Old Smoky?
No, that's not what it's called.
That's not what it's called. It's On Top of Spaghetti.
Yeah.
And it's not a parody. Okay.
No, it's a short song.
Okay. Other songs that you remember?
What about Hermes the Worm? There's a song about a worm. I don't remember all the lyrics.
The kids liked it.
Yeah, it kept them occupied.
How did you enjoy being there that summer?
It was kind of stressful because I'm not that outgoing.
Did it become less stressful as time went by, or did it stay stressful pretty much the whole time?
Well, it wasn't stressful the whole time. It was just kind of, it wears down on you having to take care of so many kids.
As you look back on specifically that summer, how does it make you feel, or what does it make you think of?
Was a fond memory of Abby's trying to get out there and be more social.
Do you think you were changed in any way when you went back to school in the fall because of that summer?
I was more aware of the responsibility of taking care of children.
The children were not particularly disabled or something.
They were underprivileged.
Underprivileged.
Yeah, so they usually wouldn't have been able to go to camp otherwise.
Okay. So they were healthy, normal kids, but somebody else was footing the bill for a week or two at camp.
Usually like one out of 10 had like ADD or something like that.
You had some other things in your life that had to do, well, you've had many had to do with responsibility, but another one had to do with kids. And I'm kind of watching the time we're going to have to stop. But I'd like to hear maybe when we meet again this afternoon about the orphanage. You visited regularly.
Yeah, in Tijuana.
An orphanage in Tijuana. I'd like to hear more about that. What I'd like to do is meet with you this afternoon, starting about 2.
Okay.
2 or 3 hours. There's no particular time limit. But then tomorrow morning we'll start about 9. Then tomorrow afternoon we'll start about 2. And we could do it on Friday if we want to.
Okay.
Is that okay with you?
Yep.
Any questions you have for me before we break for lunch, etc.?
Nope.
Okay. Thanks for talking with me, and I'll see you in a couple hours.
All right.
See you after 35.
Sure.
Not a bad idea to go to the restroom first.
Yeah, there you go.
Did you get some lunch?
They have 2 sandwich and clam chowder.
And clam chowder? Okay. Well, this is our second session. I'll just say for the benefit of the tape that this is Wednesday afternoon, and you're aware that we're being videotaped and all the things. You're welcome to take this with you or keep it, by the way.
Okay.
Any questions about this morning or anything you'd like to add from this morning?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. We left off. I was recalling, and so were you, that you had done some other things with children. You'd gone to an orphanage in Tijuana. That was interesting to me. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, it's part of the Corazon de Vida Foundation.
Corazon de
Vida.
Corazon de
Heart
Vida.
of Life.
Okay.
We would take day-long bus trips down to Tijuana orphanages and just hang out with the kids.
We is who?
As in everybody on the bus trip, I guess. So we would volunteer.
Was it a church group or school group or?
Not just any group who wanted to get involved in the orphanage community in Mexico.
How did you find out about it? How'd you get hooked up with it?
It was advertised through the honors program at UC Riverside.
Okay, this is when you were in high school?
College.
In college, okay. That's kind of neat. And what caused you to do that? What prompted you to sign up for that?
I thought it'd be a good experience
In what way?
and learning about children and just how they grew up.
I'm curious, what did you want to learn or learn more about children?
Yeah, I just want to learn more about children in general.
Tell me about the children at Corazon de Vida.
Well, they're all orphans, and they seem like just normal kids, and they like to play. They have their own school at the orphanage.
Go ahead.
So some of the activities I did was play soccer with them, play cards.
How often would you do this?
Like once every 3 months.
Once every 3 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Were there other groups that went down at other times, or did the kids get visited once every 3 months?
There were other groups that also visited them
And how long would you stay?
just for the day. And then we head back. We usually make them lunch.
Tell me more about that. How far did you travel?
Well, it's not that far. It's like 2-3 hour drive.
If there's more to it than that, you gotta show me that picture that you in your memory.
Well, once we brought a bunch of toys down, and then for Christmas, it was like we could donate money to buy toys for them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
And they like the toys. Okay.
so what did you do with that? Once again, there's a video playing in your mind somewhere, and I'd love it if you point things out in there and say, well, this is where I bought the toys, or this is what I bought. Can you give that a try?
Well, I just donated money. I didn't buy the toys for them. But we could have bought the toys.
Did you wrap the toys?
Nope.
So you're on the bus, you got toys in your lap or under the bus.
Yeah, under the bus.
What happens then?
Then we do the border crossing. Which is like, it takes like 30 minutes because they got to check out all the toys and stuff. Then we drive to the orphanage, and there's a couple different orphanages that we would go to.
And the bus stops, and
And then we just hang out with the children. And then we made them like a hot dog and Cheetos lunch, something very healthy.
can you picture any particular child that came up to you or that you hung out with?
No, not off the top of my head.
Was there a particular child or more than one that kind of remembered you and you liked to work with?
No, I don't think so. It was just in general, like packs of kids.
Perhaps how many do you think?
It was probably 30 to 50 people at the.
So you've got the presents. What happens then?
Well, then we unload the presents, and yeah, and then they get to play with them.
What did they do when they saw the presents?
They were very cheerful. They jump up and down.
Did you have any particular feelings when you took them the presents and they were cheerful?
Yeah, I thought that was a nice thing to do.
I agree. Any other feelings inside you when you see the kids opening the presents and enjoying them?
No, not really.
Okay. Then you get on the bus and you go back
Yep.
to Riverside? Any trouble crossing the border this direction?
Then we have to like get off the bus and walk across the border. Then the bus comes and picks us up. It's kind of a different procedure.
So you get back to Riverside, then what do you do?
Then I do school stuff.
Pretty full day.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other times in your life that you worked at the camp and you worked with the orphanage? I know you got paid at the camp, but it was a nice thing to do. Any other times you can think of that you volunteered some time or did something nice for other folks?
I did some gardening for the church that my mom usually goes to.
So what did you say? Some
Gardening,
gardening?
like
Okay.
pulling up weeds and stuff.
When was that?
That was in high school.
Tell me about that.
Well, there's not much more to tell. You know.
Was it a regular gig or something you did once?
No, it was just once in a blue moon.
So it was your mom's church?
Yeah.
Did the family go to church together?
We used to, but I stopped going.
Tell me about when the family did go to church.
Well, we'd always buy donuts or go to Taco Bell like after church. It's a main thing I remember about church. It's food.
What sort of church was it?
I think the first church we went to was Presbyterian, and then we went to like, Lutheran and different kinds of Protestant churches.
Okay. This is roughly how old?
since the beginning of church, probably like second grade
Until?
until probably ninth grade.
Was the church a pretty big part of your family, or not very big, or the family faith?
It's big to my mom. She really likes it. She used to usher and do the other like church activities.
Okay. How about you?
No, I was never really a believer, I guess.
Okay. Did you go to Sunday school when you were little?
Yep.
And what do you remember about Sunday school?
They had a bunch of couches in their kind of room, so it was kind of a relaxed atmosphere.
Kind of a,
Relaxed atmosphere.
what did they do with you guys in Sunday school?
Just read passages from the Bible.
Mhm. Was that a pleasant experience or a meaningful experience? What adjectives would you use to describe that experience?
Indifferent.
In the course of time, did you start going to the grown-up church?
Yeah.
Tell me about your experience, what it was like to be in the adult church, the sanctuary, the sermon, that kind of thing.
Well, they would sing songs and do hymns and stuff. Usually the pastor would read passages from the Bible or something.
I'm curious, do you remember any particular passages or sermons or things that the pastor said, or any particular songs?
Glory, glory, hallelujah, or something.
Okay.
That's one.
Would the family sit together? Or
Yeah.
everybody, you and Chris, mom and dad?
Yep.
How hard was it to get you to go to church?
They had to like bribe me with Taco Bell.
With Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Was that an every Sunday sort of thing, or some Sundays?
Pretty much every Sunday.
Okay. You mentioned several different Protestant denominations. As far as you know, was the family a member of any particular denomination?
I think they're Lutheran now.
Okay. Including or excluding church at that time, and let's say as long as you were through high school living at home, how important was faith in your life, religious faith?
I'd say insignificant.
Okay. Important to your mom?
Yeah.
Did she bring the faith into the home, or did she leave it at the church?
I'd say she left it at the church.
How about dad? How did he feel about it?
He's kind of like me.
I'm sorry?
He's kind of like me. So.
Okay.
But he would go because of my mom.
Okay. You went away to college, you came back and lived at home for a year. Was there any church in the year that you lived at home?
No, that's what.
Was she still going to church or no?
Yeah. She would.
But you did.
Right.
Did dad still go with her?
I think so. Yeah.
I was going to ask, and I forgot to ask earlier. You mentioned you have the one sister.
Yep.
Did you ever have any other sibling? One who perhaps passed away, or foster sibling
No.
at any time?
No.
As far as you know, was your mother ever pregnant at any other time or lose a baby?
No, she didn't.
Thinking back when you were a kid, doesn't matter what age right now, but thinking back when you were a kid, how did your parents get along?
Very well.
What did you see as the kid? Mom and dad are over here doing something or in the same room. What did you see between them?
Them talking to each other. Just kind of, you could see love between them.
You could see love between them. And what was it that told you that you saw love between them?
Just that they cared about each other. They kind of like showed that.
How did they show that?
Just in their demeanor towards each other.
And what kind of demeanor would that be?
Close.
Close?
Yeah, close.
You mean standing close or acting close or what?
Just a feeling of closeness.
Did that feeling come to you as well, or just between them?
Yeah, it came to me too.
Is there any particular time or any time when that closeness feeling between them was lost, even temporarily?
Not that I could ever see.
Okay. Did there ever come a time when the family closeness, including you, was lost?
Sometimes.
Like what?
Like when I came back after college for that year transition, and I didn't have a job yet. Then it was kind of like get out there and get a job.
Is that the way they put it?
That's the way I put it.
That's the way you felt it?
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
That's the way.
Okay. Tell me more about what that was like.
It was just like a small conflict because my mom felt I wasn't doing anything, so I should get out there and go to work.
You think your dad felt the same way?
He probably did, but he didn't voice it.
Was that fair on their part? Were they right, or were they being overly pushy, or something else?
I think it was fair for them to do that.
And you did go out and get a job.
Yep.
What'd you do with the money?
I saved it.
Did you pay him any rent?
No, luckily they didn't make me pay rent.
So you saved it, I assume, for school and whatever would come along, or
Right.
for something in particular?
No, just in general to save it.
Okay. In the present, is faith a very important part of your life now?
No, it's like it was before.
Okay. Has there been a time since middle school, I guess, when religious kind of faith was an important part of your life?
No, I kind of viewed it as something just to be done for the sake of doing it.
What to be done for the sake of it?
Just going to church.
Since high school, have you gone to church?
No, not really.
You say not really. Have you been to a church service since you left home?
Nope.
Okay. Of course, there's organized religion and organized faith, and then there's personal spirituality. Do you have a personal faith or personal spirituality?
Yeah, I kind of believe God is everything. So he doesn't really need to be worshipped or prayed to, but he's just kind of everything in total.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, he's kind of in our actions and in our thoughts. And he's the collective sum of everything.
Okay. Collective sum of everything.
So like anything you can think of, that is part of God.
That view, that feeling has a certain familiarity to it. I'm not sure where it comes from.
I'm not sure either.
What does that kind of God or that kind of presence of a supreme being, what does that further mean to you or ask of you? Or I'm not sure what I'm asking, but maybe you can answer it anyway.
I'm not sure either.
Does a God of that sort have expectations of man, of you and I and other people, for example?
No, I would say not.
So what does, and I understand that we're talking in the abstract here, what does that God do, or besides be present, is there anything else that God does? Or
Well, he kind of does everything and anything.
tell me what you're thinking of right now. That's interesting.
He's just kind of like the universe in its like smallest parts to its largest parts, and kind of like any action.
So he acts in many ways.
Right.
Excuse me. Does he pay attention to what happens on Earth or in space or the rest of the universe?
Well, that would kind of mean he's paying attention to himself because he is everything.
Okay. So if I were to ask, does he care what you and I do? What would your answer be to that?
I'd say yes and no.
You're playing both sides of the street.
Well, if you talk about everything, then it's going to be negative and positive. And
Can you give me some examples? What might he care about?
just how the universe is working.
How the universe is working? I'm not sure I understand.
It's hard to say like what he would care about because it's a single thing. It's a single emotion, and he would be caring and not caring at the same way.
Do you suppose he would care about the shootings, for example?
I suppose so.
In what way might he care about the shooting?
Just that it's changing something.
Go ahead.
Just changing life to death.
And if we somehow attribute human cares and thoughts and feelings to God, what might he feel about that?
He might care that people were dying.
Okay. One of the things that folks have described about you when you were growing up, and you used the word shy several times, was that you were a little bit isolated, a little bit of a loner. Is that an accurate description of you?
Oh yeah.
Can you describe for me where on the scale of lots of loner and not so much loner, where you would be and what that means? I'm not asking that very well, I know.
Like an 8 out of 10. I would be on the loner scale.
Okay. With 10 being
10 being
lonerous.
the most.
You described a lot of activities with other people that you did and that you enjoyed very much. How does that mesh with the impression now that you're giving that you're a loner?
Well, it's just that I prefer to be alone. So it's almost impossible not to do things with other people. It's because it's a social society.
Were there ever times when you isolated yourself, took yourself out of the equation or out of the crowd or out of the group?
Yeah, lots of time.
Can you give me some examples of that?
Well, one was when Nargi wanted to go to a bar, and I said I didn't want to go, and she got all angry. So I'm not much of a bar guy.
And what did you do?
I stayed home.
She stayed home with you?
Nope, she went.
So you stayed. I'm curious, what did you do when you stayed home?
Watch TV.
Okay. Other examples of purposely moving yourself into a more isolated versus less isolated situation?
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
When you got the apartment in college, not in grad school, did you have an apartment in college also?
Yes,
That was an apartment by yourself or with a roommate?
it was by myself because I prefer that.
Because
I prefer that way.
would it be fair to say that that was one of the things you moved from dormitory to on-campus housing, did you
On
say?
campus to then my own apartment.
And then to your own apartment? Tell me about the difference in feeling between being in your own apartment and being in a dormitory with a couple of hundred people.
There's a lot more freedom in having your own apartment to do what you want to do.
To do what you want to do?
Yeah.
Meaning what?
I guess watch TV or play video games or whatever.
When you, let me take a little side trip here. When you do the video games, and it may vary, are you playing online games with other players online, or are you playing the computer?
Some video games it's only the computer, and others it's online.
Which did you prefer and do the most, if either?
The online ones.
Okay. So there were other people at the end of the web, various characters.
Yeah, I wasn't quite as anxious when it's kind of over the digital web.
You weren't quite as anxious. That was your phrase.
Yeah, when I'm around people, I'm kind of anxious.
Tell me about that.
Well, I don't know. It's just they expect you to say something, and I usually like to listen more.
When you say anxious, what do you mean anxious?
Like fidgety, fearful. Yeah.
Fidgety, fearful, what else?
Not wanting to be there.
You sometimes need to escape from situations.
Yeah, kind of escape.
You sometimes escape from those situations, actually, or do you just need to escape from?
I feel the need to escape.
Feel the need. And what happens if you can't escape? What happens to that feeling then?
Then I kind of freeze.
What's that like?
I don't know how to explain that.
What are you seeing in your mind?
Just uncommunicative,
Are you seeing a picture of yourself in your mind?
kind of. You know.
Okay. You and I are looking I'm looking over your shoulder, looking at this picture. Point to the picture and describe the picture for me, would you?
I was standing there and not saying anything, and people are talking around me, and I don't know what to say.
And that's making you uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. Are the other people noticing that, or are you hiding it efficiently from them?
It depends on how long I'm around them, whether they'll notice it or not.
What happens when they notice it?
Then I feel embarrassed.
What do they do?
Stare.
Anything else that they do?
Not really.
They ever laugh at you?
No, I don't think so.
Or point at you or say, get out of here, you're too shy? Or...
No.
What, an odd question perhaps, what do you think they're thinking when you're kind of frozen like that?
Why isn't he talking?
What else are they thinking about you?
Maybe there's something weird about him.
But they don't say that, is that correct? Or do they sometimes say that?
They won't say it to me, at least.
You pretty sure that sometimes they were thinking that?
Yep.
And what makes you sure that they were likely to be thinking that?
Just because I've like walked in on them and heard them, that kind of thing.
Heard them what?
Heard them talking about me.
Oh. What might you walk in and hear them saying?
What was he doing or whatever.
Can you think of an instance in which that happened? Are you thinking of a particular instance in which that really happened?
Yeah.
What instance is that?
It's when it was at the camp Max Strauss, and it was with the other counselors. When a guy and a gal were playing chess, and I was watching, and then they left, and then I left, and then heard them say it.
How'd you feel when you heard them say it?
I ignored it.
How'd you feel?
Not so great.
What do you mean not so great? How'd you feel?
Like there was something wrong with me.
I'd like to take your pulse right now. May I take your pulse?
Okay.
I may do that from backwards. Thank you. Thank you. Like there was something weird about it.
Yep.
Like they think there's something weird, or like there's something truly weird about you.
They think there's something.
Like they think there's something. Did you ever think there was anything weird about yourself?
Yes.
And let me limit it right now to before college. Okay.
Okay.
So before college,
I thought I wasn't as social as other people.
before college is before the Camp Max Strauss.
Right.
So had there been situations even then when you thought other people thought you were weird?
I don't remember if there was a long time ago.
I want to talk a little later about whether and when you felt like you were weird. We'll come back to that. Was the situation of feeling shy and perhaps isolated, were those generally related to particular situations, or would it be anytime there were other people around? Or?
Anytime there were other people around I didn't know, or was it close friends with?
So family and close friends.
I kind of exempt.
How comfortable were you with family and close friends?
Very comfortable.
Very?
Yeah.
Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you didn't feel weirdly shy or weirdly weird around family and close friends?
Right.
Okay. You think family and close friends thought you were weird?
No.
Okay. So why would somebody, just because they didn't know you, think you were weird if with family and close friends you didn't think you were weird and they didn't think you were weird?
because I'm different around different people.
Because you acted different? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. How quickly or what does it take to get you from, okay, I know this person, I don't feel weird, I'm not acting weird, to, so what has to happen to make that change, to get you
I was spending a long time with them. I don't know exactly how long ago.
Okay. For example, you and I have been talking for 3 or 4 hours over a period of a day.
Yeah.
Is it approaching that in any way, or is it pretty uncomfortable?
It's still uncomfortable.
Still uncomfortable. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. The people who are around you at the jail, they're not interacting very much with you, I understand that. Is it uncomfortable with them, or is it comfortable with them?
Well, not with them, so it's kind of neither.
You're not with them.
So it's neither.
In what sense are you not with them?
Well, I'm not communicating with them. I'm not.
Okay. Okay. How about your defense attorneys? Where do they stand on that spectrum?
I'd say I was close to them.
So things are pretty comfortable.
Yeah, pretty much.
And your impression would be that they don't particularly see you as weird because you've become comfortable with them and your behavior is pretty normal.
Right.
And again, I'm doing all the talking I shouldn't be. Is that pretty much the way you see it?
Yeah, I've been with them for a while. So.
Okay. Some of the staff here told me that you were familiar with them from last time you were here.
Right.
And they recognized you. How comfortable are you with the staff that you remember from last time?
Not very comfortable.
Can you put your finger on anything that makes it uncomfortable for you? That's a very broad, vague question, I guess.
Just being there and not having something to do kind of makes it uncomfortable.
Not having something to do.
Yeah, because if you have something to do, it kind of avoids having to do direct talking, confrontation.
Okay. So what would be the circumstance with being in a class with people you didn't know well?
That would be fine because they're focused on the lectures instead of socializing all the people.
So far as you remember in such classes, would you, being comfortable, then perhaps interact with somebody near you, ask for a pencil or a pen or
No, I pretty much never did that.
share a note or something like that?
No.
Okay. What if they asked you for a piece of paper or to take a look at your notes or something?
Then I'd help them out.
Would it make you uncomfortable?
No, because it's like something we have to do together instead of talking. There's awkward silences.
And so it sounds like you're saying that having a purpose takes the edge off the anxiety.
Yeah.
Okay. You and I have a bit of a purpose. I'm asking you 100 questions. And
Yeah, you're the one doing the talking mostly.
well, I'll try to correct that.
Oh.
I'll try to correct that. Do you think as we continue to talk for a few days that you'll do more of the talking?
It might get better.
Interesting that you use the word better. I see it as a little different. I'm not sure I see it as good or bad or better or worse.
Oh,
So why did you say better? Is it bad to be?
yeah, that's kind of my view with it. It's bad social anxiety.
What's the worst thing you can think of happening in a social situation related to that anxiety and something that makes you uncomfortable? What's the worst that could happen?
It could start a fight, I guess.
What happens then?
Then you have to avoid the fight somehow.
What happens then?
And it stops. Eventually, it stops.
How does it stop?
After the confrontation is over,
How does the confrontation come to an end?
poorly.
What does that mean? How does the confrontation come to an end?
Then I didn't give the right answer.
I don't understand. How you say you were concerned that there'd be a confrontation or a fight?
Yeah.
And then you said the next step is that it's over. And I'm asking you to fill in the blank. How does it get from a fight to being over?
It just ends afterwards.
How does it end?
No, I guess just nobody says anything.
Nobody says it.
Yeah.
What's the worst? I'm going to stick with the worst case scenario business. What's the worst way it could end?
With someone getting offended.
Okay. Like how?
Like if I didn't say the right thing or not.
So you're talking about the other person getting offended, not you?
Yeah.
So the worst thing that could happen is not that you would feel offended, but that the other person would feel offended.
Right.
What happens then?
And we go our separate ways.
Is that so bad?
It is if the person's offended.
How is that a bad thing? That the other person is offended?
It just is bad, I guess. I don't know if there's an explanation for it.
You're sort of saying it's axiomatically bad, and I don't buy that. What's bad about it?
Just because I didn't say the right thing or not.
You already said that. We're in a little circle here.
It's axiomatic.
Okay. Let's come back to the worst thing that could happen. Parting ways with the other person feeling bad is the worst thing that could happen.
I suppose there's worse.
What might be worse?
If somebody gets killed or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you picture a circumstance where that might happen between you and somebody else that you're talking to?
I can't see myself doing it.
Okay. How about you getting killed?
I also can't see that happening.
Okay. What I'm kind of trying to come to is within the anxiety, which you use the word fear as well, what the fear might be. If you take that idea of the fear far enough, what do we find? What do we see? What do we feel?
Well, fear is its own emotion.
Go ahead.
So it's it's not different from the other.
What happens when people get frightened? Well, physiologically, what happens?
There's a sympathetic response, like fight or flight. So people either confront it or they run away from it.
The thing you described you doing was freezing.
Yeah, so I guess that's not in those two categories.
Big part?
I guess that's not in those two categories.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking too. So which do you think James wants to do in this hypothetical situation? Fight or flee?
Usually flee. And do escapist things.
I'm sorry?
Do escapist things?
Okay. And from time to time you've done that. Withdrawn, gone back to your apartment, watch TV instead of going to the bar. Things like that.
Yeah.
Has it ever come to pass that you've done the fight part?
Not like physical fight, but like, I guess, verbal defense or something.
Ever been in a physical fight?
When I was a kid, like little, like scruffs and stuff.
Very often?
No, it just once in a while.
Okay. Let me take a side trip, and I'm sorry, I look over that way. Occasionally somebody's waving at somebody. I think they're waving at me. If they really want us, they'll pound on the window, I guess. We take a side trip into the fight business. Roughly how many fights have you been in which you either landed a blow or someone landed a blow on you?
It's more wrestling, I would say. So there's no blows landed.
Okay, well, the contact is what I put them.
Maybe like 2 or 3 only.
2 or 3. Okay. What was the worst one? What happened?
I don't remember when I was a kid.
So the oldest one, the one in which you were the oldest, would be about how old?
Maybe 10.
Maybe 10. And you really don't remember the circumstance?
No.
Did you ever get beaten up real bad?
Nope.
Did you ever run away from a fight and run away?
No, I don't think so.
Did you ever threaten someone who ran away from you?
No.
Now we come back to the verbal altercation you were talking about, okay?
Yep.
The flee or fight verbally or freeze.
I usually just don't say anything, so I try to ignore the verbal attackers.
I kind of want to say, how does that work for you? Because it's tough to do that. It's very hard to do that.
It works well. Obviously, there's a lot of verbal attackers in jail,
That's a good point.
so I just ignore them, and then eventually they stop.
Let's come up to the jail then. Can you give an example of the verbal attackers in the jail?
Yeah, I'll just say stuff.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Give me an example.
They say like baby killer and stuff.
Okay. Who's this coming from?
Other inmates.
Other inmates. Do you have any contact at all with other inmates?
No.
Ever?
No.
If you're going someplace, say through the tunnel to the court or something like that,
They like lock down the hallways.
they lock down the hallway and take you down the hallway. So you don't go over to the wall, or they don't go over to the wall while you pass. They're actually not in the hallway.
Yeah, they're outside of the hallway.
Then how do they know it's you to yell at you?
That's not usually where it happens. It usually happens at my cell with like the cleaning trustees going by and yelling stuff.
Okay. So folks in the jail know that James Holmes is in MC1 or whatever the
Right.
cell is. And perhaps a trustee working, or perhaps somebody else who's temporarily in another MC cell may yell things.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes.
Okay. Has there ever been a circumstance where they've gotten to you physically?
No.
Are they, oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Oh. Let me go. I thank you for that example. Let me go back earlier to your activity of freezing rather than fighting or fleeing. Freezing is a little different from ignoring, it seems to me. Does it sound different to you?
Yes.
What's the person who's freezing thinking, feeling, what's going through his mind?
They can't think or feel at that time. It's kind of frozen. So it's kind of a mental block.
A mental block of the whole mind, or just for that part of the mind that's involved in the
Coming up with a response or something.
Okay. Does that describe you pretty well in those circumstances?
Yeah, I guess so.
When was the first time that you noticed that you did that or could do it? When was the first time you recall doing it?
I don't remember.
Can you think of an example that maybe wasn't the first time but sticks out in your mind?
No, I don't know any examples.
Was there a time or a period in which you realized you were doing it more or more strongly, more obviously to yourself?
In graduate school,
Okay. What might that have had to do with? What might you have been doing?
like discussing lab papers, lab articles,
In some sort of presentation?
in like discussion groups kind of thing.
Tell me what that was like.
Well,
Paint a
people,
picture of that circumstance.
one person would choose a figure, or they'd have a figure assigned to them on a paper, and they'd have to usually explain what it was. And that's tough for me because they kind of put you on the spot,
And when you say a figure,
like a graph or something.
okay. You'd be kind of on the spot. Would you generally know know about the topic, but be on the spot with regard to talking about it?
Yeah, I usually know what was going on, but then have trouble saying it or bringing it out.
Okay. If you were talking just with one other classmate, for example, lab partner, would the same thing happen, or would it?
No, it was usually the group.
It's in the group. Okay. How well did you know the folks in those groups? See them every week or every day or once a month?
It would depend on if it was on what class it was. If it was a neuroscience one, then I knew pretty much most of the people there.
And you would still freeze up
Yeah, sometimes.
every time, or just sometimes?
Sometimes.
How much? How many times out of? I'm kind of asking how often.
Maybe 50%.
And what happens when you freeze up? Take me through the process of the next 15 minutes. You start to freeze up, and
then they wait for an answer, and then I'm kind of lost.
then what happens?
They don't have to like reread it, or they'll just move on.
And then what happens?
Then the freezing stops.
When the freezing happens at its worst, do you say anything at all?
Not unless I'm spoken to.
So if someone speaks to you, you would respond?
Yeah, I try and give my best response available.
Was that response generally an appropriate response or no?
Yeah, I'd say it was appropriate.
I read a little bit about you giving presentations.
Yep.
And maybe these are the discussion groups you're talking about, but it appears that you or someone similar is standing up with a PowerPoint presentation.
Right.
Is that what you're talking about, or is that different from what you're talking about?
That's different. That's like lab rotation speeches. I'm talking about we got like an article in front of us. And we have to talk about a graph or something, and they call on me and say, "Can you explain this graph?"
If the group were asked to write an explanation of the graph, would that solve the problem?
If I wasn't put on the spot,
If everybody in the group were asked to,
then I would know what to do.
I'm sorry?
Then I would know what to do.
Okay. If you were asked to take the graph home and interpret it,
That's easy.
that'd be easy. So it's not a question of not knowing the stuff.
Right.
Gotcha. Tell me about the larger presentations with PowerPoints and things like that.
They were in front of the neuroscience department, so a bunch of professors and students.
And how did those go for you?
They went okay. I got feedback from the graduate training committee here.
What was the feedback like?
It was usually critiques or criticisms.
Useful, hard to take, positive, negative?
Mostly negative, I would say.
Were you able to use that feedback to do it differently the next time, or no?
Not really, no.
Okay. The isolation business, and shyness is a little different from isolation, I guess. There was another example in the record that I looked at about when you moved back to San Diego from Salinas. Salinas or Salinas?
Silliness.
Salinas. And there was a Steinbeck book written about Salinas, wasn't there?
Yeah, he used to live there.
Okay, that's what.
A mice and men.
Yeah.
He used to be eating grapes of wrath.
Did you read much Steinbeck or know much about that history? Obviously, you know
We
that.
read him in school.
Okay, interesting. Did you like reading Steinbeck?
I think it's fine.
What was your favorite Steinbeck book?
Mice and men.
Why do you suppose you were drawn to that particular one? Besides the
Because
fact
the
that
characters were interesting.
being short didn't have anything to do with it.
Being short.
It was a short book.
Oh, that probably did for the book report too.
Okay. Anybody in particular in that book that you might have identified with, or
I think Lenny.
really?
Yep.
That's an interesting one to identify with. And you were pre-middle school at that time. You were 12 or under, right?
Yes.
So tell me how you and Lenny might have been similar or felt similar.
I don't know how to answer that. How I felt compared to.
What are you picturing in your mind right now?
I don't know. I'm frozen.
You're frozen. Do you remember anything that, and I'm kind of putting you on the spot with regard to the book, you read it a long time ago. Do you remember any things that Lenny did?
Yeah, he like, crushed the mouse and pulled on the girl's dress, I think, when she was trying to get away or something.
What were some other characteristics of Lenny?
I think he was schizophrenic. He saw like rabbits or something.
And what was it about Lenny that you think applied in some way or other to you, even at age 12 or however old you were?
I just thought he was the most interesting character in the book.
Okay, interesting character. He was also a character that almost everyone misunderstood.
Oh, I don't remember that.
He was.
Okay,
He had a friend,
George.
Jordan. Everybody else teased him, but with a friend he was comfortable with. You recall that about the book?
Yeah.
What do you think that relationship, what do you remember about that relationship between George and Lenny? How did George feel about Lenny?
George liked him because he could do a lot of hard work, manual labor. And I guess they were just friends.
Think George cared about him?
Yeah. That's what made it hard for him to kill him in the end.
Tell me about that act of George killing Lenny, if you remember it from the book, and it was pretty striking.
That's all I remember about it.
Do you remember why George killed Lenny?
Yeah, Lenny accidentally killed another person. I don't remember who, but they were out to get him.
And why George? Why was George the one that killed him?
Because he was the closest one to him.
What do you make of that? What do you suppose Steinbeck was
What was he going for?
telling us about George, about that relationship?
I don't know.
I bet you wrote a book report on it. And
That was a long time ago, though. Yeah, I don't know why him versus the other people.
did you want to move back to San Diego when the family moved back? Or do you remember?
I wanted to stay in Salinas.
You want to stay in San Diego?
Yeah.
What do you remember about not particularly wanting to live in the city?
Just that all my friends were in Salinas, so I'm not gonna kind of restart.
It's tough for kids to restart.
Yep.
How did you restart when you got back to San Diego?
I just met new friends.
How did you do that?
I don't remember how it happened.
Any guesses, speculation about how the young James would have met and made new friends?
Maybe just proximity being around them.
But you didn't have to play with them.
Like,
How'd you end up playing with them?
see, I don't know.
How might you have ended up playing? Speculation, I guess.
Just talking to them.
Do you recall whether there was a period in which you didn't want to play with them? You wanted to keep to yourself when you moved back?
No, I want to make new friends.
There's some place in the record that talks about you sitting in the closet reading.
I don't know what that's about.
Does that ring a bell?
No.
Doesn't? And I'm not sure either.
Does it say when or what?
It was when you moved back to San Diego. When did the family move to San Diego in the first place? How old were you then?
When I was first at San Diego?
Yeah.
I was born in San Diego.
You were born in San Diego. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're there for a long time and you only came back one time.
Yep.
Somewhere in the record, there's something about you spending time sitting in the closet reading. And I'm not remembering the context. I'm wondering if you remember
I don't remember anything.
sitting in the closet reading.
No.
Kids do some interesting things.
Yeah.
What kinds of things did you like to read back then when you were 12, 13 years old?
Oh, my favorite was Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
I have not read. That's a series, isn't
I think there's like hundreds of them.
it? Kids series.
Yeah,
I've not read it. What's the premise of Goosebumps?
it's like a scary story. Just a scary story.
Are they real heavy duty scary stories, or are they scary stories for little kids?
I think they're for little kids.
Okay, so go ahead. You like those? What was in Goosebumps books that you remember?
Just a bunch of monsters and stuff.
And what happened in the books about the monsters, and perhaps children were in the books too? Right? Children and monsters.
I don't remember if there were. I just remember it was like scary.
And it was a scary stuff for you to read.
Yep.
Okay. So what does a kid like James do when he's reading Goosebumps? How do you deal with being scared?
Well, it always ends, so there's nothing to be afraid of once it ends.
Does it end with the scariness going away, or is it still scary at the end and you just put the book down?
It's usually still scary, but then after a while, it's scariness kind of fades away. As you get older, too, it's not scary.
You had your own room all this time, right?
Yep.
Were you ever kind of scared in your room by yourself?
I used to think there was something called nail ghosts.
Called what?
Nail ghosts.
Nail ghosts.
Nail ghosts.
Nail ghosts.
So when I had my bed up against the wall, and ghosts would hammer nails through the wall and kind of poke you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you suppose the nail ghosts came from?
My imagination.
Were they in a book or anything? Or
No, I
your
never
imagination?
heard of them anywhere else.
Well, then you got to tell me all about them, because psychiatrists really want to hear about those childhood monsters. So tell me about nail ghosts and what they looked like, what they did.
They just make it so you can't sleep with your against the wall. You have to kind of be sleeping towards the other side of your bed. Otherwise, the nails will come through the wall and hit you.
How did you deal with that? You slept, for one thing, you slept away from the wall, I said,
Yeah.
right? Okay. How else did you deal with it?
Well, I eventually got over it.
Did you ever decide, hey, I can't sleep here, and go try to sleep with mom or dad, or sleep on the couch?
Maybe it was like a nightmare or something. Did I do that?
Did you tell mom or dad about the nail ghosts?
I don't know. I don't remember.
And one of the things I was wondering was, what was their reaction to your fear of the nail ghosts? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember. I don't know if it.
Did mom or dad know that you were afraid of anything? Heights, or jumping off the high diving board, or nail ghosts, or anything else?
Yeah, I was afraid of the dark. So they got me one of those little lantern light things.
And how did they treat, speaking of each one, actually, how did mom treat you? How did dad treat you about knowing that their son was afraid of the dark?
Well, they let me sleep in their bed, or they'd say there's no monsters.
Did that help?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Does the frozen feeling that you've described very articulately, does that frozen feeling bear any resemblance to the feeling of being afraid in the dark or the nail monsters?
No, I don't think so.
The visceral feeling is not similar as far as you can recall?
No, I just go further under the covers so it would like freeze or anything.
Here's an odd question. In the freezing as a grown-up, would you ever have fantasies or thoughts or pictures in your mind of some of the monsters from childhood, or any kind of monster? If you're freezing, say, in a social situation.
I would have like violent images.
Violent image.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Things like saws going against the other people.
Like what?
What do you mean?
You said violent images and thoughts going against the other people. And I don't know what you mean by that.
Like a saw, like sawing them, or like them getting their heads cut off or something.
Okay. Sawing them or getting their heads cut off.
Yeah.
Tell me more about those images in your mind when you're frozen.
They just pop up randomly.
Would they pop up randomly, say, when you're older in grad school? Or is it much of,
Since like high school on.
let's take that fantasy to some end, some maybe ridiculous end. A saw pops up. What happens then in the fantasy?
Just like chops off the limb.
What kind of saw? Who's holding the saw? What happens next?
It's just kind of like a floating saw. And then once it happens, then it's like, then there's no more, it's done.
It's done. Is the saw dangerous to you or dangerous to the other person?
The other person.
So the saw is your friend, your ally. Does that
I
make sense?
wouldn't put it like that. No.
You wouldn't put it like that. Okay, thank you for correcting that. Because my thoughts don't have to be your thoughts.
Okay.
The saw just kind of appears and something happens to the other person.
Yeah.
And then it ends. And what happens next?
Then I'm either still frozen or I've come up with a response or something.
Why do you suppose you quickly corrected me when I said the saw was your ally? You're having violent thoughts against somebody that's making you uncomfortable,
Right.
and something's helping you, or something's cutting off his limb or his head or his arm. Why do you suppose you were quick to say, hey, not my ally? It's just a random saw, or something like that.
Because the saw's doing it on its own.
I'm sorry,
It's doing it on its own.
saw's doing its own, doing its own. Think the saw's any part of you, mentally speaking? Getting very Freudian about it.
No, I don't know.
Did you ever ponder that before? Gee, I wonder where the saw came from. You ever think about it or ponder it?
No.
Okay. What are some of the other fantasies or images that come up when you freeze?
Like a nuclear winter,
What do you mean?
like setting off a bunch of atomic bombs.
This seems to come up in a matter of seconds when you're kind of at an impasse on the spot, neither fleeing nor wanting to fight. Does that make sense?
Right.
What do you make of that? What do you make of that nuclear winter picture coming into your mind?
It's unrealistic. It's gonna happen already.
What do you make of it coming into your mind?
I don't know why it's popping up.
Can you speculate on it?
It can be arising because I'm frustrated, I guess.
You mentioned the internship with the Salk Institute. I remember in the record somewhere you applied for a job as a lab tech. Am I right about that, or am I misunderstanding that?
It's separate from the internship.
That was a separate thing. What was that circumstance?
What was what circumstance?
Yeah,
The lab tech?
the lab tech. Yeah.
I don't remember. I think it like applied for a bunch of lab tech positions.
When you were between college and grad school, was that in that year when you were living at home?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I know there was something else that I was curious about. There was something in an email that mentioned Phi Beta Kappa. Are you Phi
Yeah, I
Beta
was,
Kappa?
I was a member of Phi Beta Kappa.
Very good. And you no doubt still are. It's a permanent thing.
Okay.
Okay. So you've got your key and everything.
Yep.
Congratulations. We talked a little about religion. The other thing psychiatrists always ask about is sex. You were fairly old for your first serious girlfriend. That was Gargi.
Yeah.
Right. You dated, but were more on friendly dates with girls before that, it sounds like.
Correct.
Okay. Was Gargi your first sexual experience?
Yes.
Okay. Other than masturbating, I suppose.
Right.
Okay. How was that for you? Was it successful, unsuccessful with Gargi? I know that's a vague question. It's that way on purpose. I'd like you to kind of tell me about
I
that.
think it was a successful relationship.
Okay. Good for both of you?
Yep.
Okay. How frequent was it?
Maybe like 3 or 4 times a week.
Okay. the sexual part come fairly quickly after you guys started to date, or was it delayed a ways?
I think 2 months.
About 2 months. You all worked together for not too many months, as I
I think
recall.
like 6 months.
About 6 months, okay. I take it she never became pregnant.
No,
That's fair to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else in your life that you've ever had intercourse with?
nope.
We get a little more personal. Everybody masturbates. Can you tell me something about the fantasies or the things that turn you on to masturbate?
Just good looking, big boobs.
Anything else?
That's about it.
That's about it. That sounds like pretty standard fare.
Yep.
And go on the web, have a little porn laying around.
Just on the web.
Okay. There are other places to see boobs and stuff. For example, peeking in windows and things like that. You ever do any window peeking?
No, never.
We might come back to that. I don't know. Psychiatrists usually do.
Okay.
At times, according to the record, different people have viewed you in lots of different ways. First time I've ever talked with you, so I'm asking a lot about how you view yourself. But may I read you 10 or 15 things that I've seen in the record as ways that people see you? I kind of see what your reaction to those is. One of the phrases is that, and this is I think both prior to the shootings and since the shootings, trying to keep it together. What does that bring to mind? Trying to keep it together, is that accurate, not accurate?
I don't know what it is.
What comes to mind?
Just trying to keep my life in order, I guess.
Okay. Anything after that?
No.
My impression, and again, it's my thought, not necessarily yours, is trying to keep your mind together. Trying to kind of keep from losing it in some way.
Okay.
Does that resonate at all with?
That sounds accurate.
Okay. So tell me how it sounds accurate, because this is what other people are saying. I'd much rather hear what your view is.
Well, I became more disorganized. And, I guess my mind was kind of falling apart.
Tell me more.
I don't know what else there is to say.
Sounds like there's a lot more to say. You're becoming more disorganized, and you felt like your mind was falling apart. Those were your words just then.
Right.
Can you tell me about when that was? It may have been lots of different times. About when?
Like after Christmas, when I came back to graduate school.
So that would be early 2012?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you expand on that a little bit? What was it like? What was going on inside you?
Well, I was sick. I think I was sick from mono. And I was fatigued all the time.
I do remember you had mono, then they diagnosed you in California, right?
Yeah.
How long did that mono episode last?
Like 2 months, I think.
Did you see a doctor in Colorado about it?
I did, but he said I had post-nasal drip.
Once it was diagnosed at Kaiser, I guess, in California, you came back. Did you see doctors who now knew that you had mono?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I didn't go to a doctor once I came back.
Interesting. Okay. So what was the course of that mono? What happened then?
I was just tired most of the time.
Did you stay home for class?
No, I still try to keep busy working.
How successful were you at studying?
Not very successful. In my lab, I kind of like messed up on using the wrong procedure.
Several weeks or 2 months of not being at full strength in class sounds pretty serious for succeeding at grad school. That sounds like a pretty serious blow.
I passed all my courses and everything.
We come back to keeping it together, keeping your mind from falling apart, if I'm remembering the words right. What else about that?
Mm. I guess I was also really depressed.
Tell me about the depressed.
Because I broke up with my girlfriend.
That was a little later. Was that in March? Am I remembering that right? When did you break up with Gargi?
I don't remember the exact month. It was early 2012.
Okay. But the important thing is you said pretty depressed. Can you expand on that a bit?
Yeah, I didn't have like my normal drive to finish things and succeed.
What's it like to be that depressed? Didn't have your normal drive. What else?
Kind of stuck in a rut.
What do you mean?
It was hard to get up and do things.
Anything else?
Nope.
Think it was more mono or more depression or both? Neither.
I think the depression was separate from the mono.
Do you remember, and I know that you've gone online to look for symptoms of mental disorders.
Yeah.
What symptoms did you find of depression at that time, or at that time were you not going online looking?
I don't remember if I looked at it at the time.
How were you sleeping, for example?
A lot of sleeping.
A lot of sleep.
I would like go back and sleep in the middle of the day for like lunch break.
How about appetite? Were you eating okay?
Yeah, I'd say the same.
Losing weight?
No, I'd say the same.
Did you feel like things were pessimistic or hopeless, or not?
I generally have a pessimistic view.
That's your general view, or that was while you were depressed?
That's all the time.
All the time. This particular time after you came back from Christmas, is that the most depressed you've ever been in your life?
Yeah.
And I really do want to hear more about it. You still went to class? As far as you remember, did you go to all the classes?
Yeah.
When you weren't in class, you mentioned you slept a lot. At that time, were you still seeing Gargi, or do you think you'd broken up by that time?
The depression was after.
Okay. At the deepest of the depressions, did you think about hurting yourself or killing yourself?
No.
Any other time in the depressions, did you think about hurting yourself or killing yourself?
No.
How about hurting or killing other people?
Yeah, I kind of transferred it into kind of homicidal.
Why do you say transfer?
Because like depression is normally suicidal, so I kind of transferred my suicidal thoughts into homicidal.
Is that word transferred, is that something that came out of you or out of some reading or from somebody else?
That's just my own view.
Your own view, okay. Tell me about what you were thinking about hurting other people or killing other people.
It's the same things as when I would freeze, kind of homicidal thoughts.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you would freeze, there were particular people around who were the object of the saw or the
Right.
thoughts, is that right?
It
When
was
you,
just more abstract from the other.
okay. How was your concentration when you were so depressed?
I don't know if my concentration changed. But
Really? You were able to pass? Were you passing as well as you did before and after?
yeah, I was taking less classes.
Fewer classes? How was your energy in other things?
It was lacking.
Can you give me an example?
I just would like lie on the couch and not do anything.
Do you play video games just as much or less?
More, I think.
More? Okay. Any change in the video games that you played when you were so depressed?
No, not really.
You mentioned that you didn't have thoughts of suicide. Did you have thoughts of dying or thoughts that you might not?
Not me, someone else.
Do you suppose you were feeling guilty about anything?
No.
Not feeling particularly guilty. Okay. Within the depression, as far as you can remember, do you think you stayed in contact with reality pretty well, or do you think that there were times when you weren't in contact with reality?
Well, I think of the nuclear winter, and that wasn't realistic.
That was part of the freezing part. Was that also part of the depression part?
Yeah.
Okay. And the nuclear winter, I guess I can think of lots of ways that that might come to someone's mind as a thought, as a very, very frequent and intrusive thought, and maybe in other ways, all the way up to truly believing we are currently in a nuclear winter.
I didn't believe we were in it. It was just an intrusive thought.
An intrusive
that
thought.
kept coming.
Say that again.
That kept coming.
Okay, a thought that kept kind of intruding about. And what was the picture or the thought of nuclear winter? Can you paint that picture for me?
Just a big atomic bomb cloud.
There's an atomic bomb cloud, and my picture of nuclear winter is different from the atomic bomb exploding, but maybe that's not the same picture you have.
That's the picture I have, is the atomic bomb cloud.
Is the exploding?
Yeah, it's,
Okay. And what happens with that atomic bomb cloud? You see the cloud. What else is there?
it just disintegrates everything.
I'm sorry?
It disintegrates.
Everything,
Yeah.
including you.
No, I can't. I don't see any people in it. I just see like buildings and stuff.
Where do you suppose the picture comes from? Does it all come from inside you, or some movie, or book, or video game?
No, because I watched the History Channel. I've seen.
There are lots of atomic bomb clouds pictures around. Okay. All right. So that was one of the characteristics.
14 more to go.
Another one that was that you're a very interesting person.
I don't know about that one. Sounds like flattery.
You find that flat?
Yeah.
Okay. How might you be an interesting person?
Might be mysterious because I don't share that much of what I do.
I'd be mysterious.
Yeah.
The mysterious, interesting guy. Okay. Any other reasons that people might find you interesting?
I can't think of one.
Okay. Another phrase is extremely bright.
Okay. I don't know if I would say extremely, but
Somebody did.
somewhat bright at least.
Somebody said extremely, and maybe more than one person. I don't have the number of people here.
Okay.
Being honest, that's pretty accurate.
Again, not maybe extremely, but I'd say the bright part was at least.
Why would someone describe you then as extremely bright?
Because I work hard, study, do that.
Would they be mistaken?
Nope.
Would you have fooled them into thinking you were extremely bright?
No, I try and be more modest than that.
Would you say that a person with a 4.0 average in high school and even better a 3.9, whatever you said to the third decimal, in college, in a pretty tough college course, would you say that takes an extremely bright person? Just 1 second. I'm going to ask you to keep quiet. Will you all keep it down? Let me get leeway with the dim. Yeah. I'm confident they can hear our conversation with your camera. It's something else. Another phrase that we've covered a little bit, I guess. Awkward around other people, having difficulty in social situations.
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate.
Okay, we've talked about that a bit so far. And I remember this one. More than one person said pretty much similar to other research grad students. pardon?
I didn't stand out. Like
Okay.
I was pretty much going with the flow.
In what ways do you think someone, for example, someone at the grad school might say, yeah, and what I'm talking about is detectives who would go and interview your professors and colleagues and stuff. And they would say, in general, he was pretty much similar to other research grad students. In what way, what does that mean to you? Because I've never been a research grad student before.
That I was studious and hardworking.
Okay. Very angry.
No, I'd say that's inaccurate.
You'd say that's inaccurate.
Yeah.
Why might they make that mistake? What might give them that impression?
If they interpreted my awkwardness to anger, I guess would be one way.
That seems a little odd to me. How would they interpret awkwardness as anger? What would lead to that?
I don't know. That's why I said it was inaccurate. They said I was angry.
Were there people over the last few months or so leading up to July 20th of 2012, people that you told you were angry?
Oh no, I never told anybody I was angry.
I'm thinking of folks that you told, or who at least got the impression that in some ways you had a hatred of mankind or were angry at mankind.
I wrote hatred of mankind in the notebook.
Okay. To you, does that translate to very angry, or is that different from very angry?
To me, the hatred is kind of like a hating broccoli or something, not a fiery, angry, passionate hate.
Okay.
It's kind of an aversive hate.
Okay. Like hating broccoli versus a fiery, passionate hate. Tell me about the hating broccoli kind of hate of mankind.
Well, I just don't want to eat broccoli, so I kind of avoid it, be averse to it, instead of being like angry at broccoli and like chopping it up or something.
Reminds me of the Saturday Night Live skit about chopping broccoli. Did you never?
Oh, I never thought.
Do you remember that? But how does that translate to a feeling about mankind?
The hatred. I think it's just because I'm different. You feel I felt hatred towards mankind.
I'm not quite following.
I guess I figured I was kind of separate from mankind, so it felt different.
Can you get us from I feel separate from mankind to I hate mankind?
Well, again, it's more of being averse to mankind, kind of wanting to be alone, solitary.
I'm thinking, again, just my thought. I hate being with mankind. I hate being around them. Is that close, or is that not close to what you're
That's pretty close, because they make me feel uncomfortable.
When I think of somebody making me or us feel uncomfortable, one of the things might well be, I hate being around them. I don't like being someplace where I'm uncomfortable.
Right.
The other thing might be being angry at them for making me feel uncomfortable.
No, I was never angry.
Okay, not that. And I guess that would have to do with, am I uncomfortable because of some characteristic of them that makes me uncomfortable, or am I uncomfortable because they're doing something to get to me, to make me uncomfortable? Does that make sense at all?
Yes. I'm not sure which one it would be.
Okay. And again, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. Next phrase, very self-centered.
I'd say that's accurate.
Tell me more about that. What do you think of that?
I kind of view the world through my own eyes as opposed to other people's.
Tell me more about how James Holmes was very self-centered. Or is very self-centered for that one.
All that work I put into studying and learning, that was also self-centered.
In what way? Tell me more. Why is it self-centered to put work into studying?
Because you're kind of gaining knowledge for yourself, improving yourself.
What did you plan to do with the knowledge?
Get a good paying job.
Was there any other purpose in the knowledge? Why else did you want that knowledge?
I wanted to see why I was different.
You wanted to see why you were different.
Yep.
Talk more about that, would you?
Well, I was interested in the differences between like normal people and people who are different.
You had a little pause before you said people are different. Wanted to see differences between normal people and people who are
Outside the norm, I guess.
Can you be more specific as you apply it to yourself in college, high school? People who are,
I guess, mentally ill.
did you view yourself as mentally ill or think you might be mentally ill?
Sometimes
In what way?
in the social awkwardness and the intrusive thoughts.
The social awkwardness we've talked quite a bit about so far. How about the intrusive thoughts? Which intrusive thoughts?
The violent ones.
Any intrusive thoughts that you haven't mentioned? The saw, the nuclear winter? What else?
Ultimately, the guns.
What were the intrusive thoughts about the guns?
That I should shoot as many people as possible.
How do you feel as you tell me that? Your voice dropped just a little bit.
Not good.
Make you nervous to talk about it, or what's,
Yeah.
what's the
Makes
feeling?
me nervous.
I appreciate you talking about it.
Okay.
And I know it's inside. I know the thoughts have been there. So they're not a secret between you and I, but I'd like very much to understand them more. And you're the key to helping understand them more.
Okay.
Appreciate that. How early in your life were you thinking that you were mentally ill?
Late middle school.
And I'm seeing a difference between I'm uncomfortable, I'm not fitting in, or I'm shy. I'm seeing a difference between a kid thinking those things and a kid thinking I'm mentally ill. It's still
I kind of wanted to find the reasons why those things were happening.
And the phrase mentally ill came up late middle school. Is that
No, I thought the phrase I would use is like broken brain.
broken brain? Okay. Where did that phrase come from?
It just appeared.
From inside you, as far as you recall?
Yeah.
Wasn't something you heard on the radio, heard on TV, or something
No.
like that? Because it's not an uncommon phrase.
It's got alliteration in it.
It does. It has alliteration, and it's not an uncommon phrase in conversations about mental illness, certain kinds of mental illness. Okay. Late middle school. What's it like for a kid, 14 years old, to wonder if his brain is broken or to think that his brain might be broken?
Well, I want to know as much as possible, so I do a bunch of searches on the brain and how the brain works.
At the time, if you remember, were you pretty sure it could be fixed or couldn't be fixed, or you didn't know?
I didn't know if it could be fixed or not.
And what did broken brain mean? What's the picture in that 14-year-old's mind of broken brain?
That normal people's brains work their way and my brain works my way.
Do you remember any actual picture in your mind of a brain that was broken or something like that?
No, it wasn't like an image of it.
So what did you do back when you were that young? What did you do about it?
I like sought career options which would kind of be related to that. So that's like one of the reasons I went into neuroscience.
One of the reasons.
Yeah.
What were some of the other reasons?
Well, there's nothing more important than the brain in like daily life, I guess.
Okay. That brings up in my mind a very long-term fix. I'm 14, I'll make it my career and try to discover something that will help me.
Yeah,
That's years and years and years and years for a 14-year-old.
yeah, I think I had.
Was there any way to help you or to make you feel better when you were 14?
No, I would do escapist stuff like video games.
That helped?
Yeah,
How much did it help? Did it make it all go away? Or
it made it go away for the time being.
were there other things that made it go away pretty well besides video games?
Schoolwork, sports,
Okay. Sports, schoolwork, anything else?
TV, basically any entertainment.
Lots of kids, boys and girls that age, think there's something wrong with them. It's an endemic condition of young teenagers that there's something terribly wrong.
Right.
You and they all take it seriously to one extent or another. You took it, it sounds like, very, very seriously.
Yeah.
Do you recall knowing whether other kids had things that made them anxious or nervous or depressed or made them feel awkward too?
No, I didn't know their names.
Do you think you were the only kid that was feeling those things?
No, I'm sure there were others.
At the time?
Yeah, I'm sure there were others then too.
Did you ever talk with friends about it?
No, I kept it private.
And how did you know that other kids felt the same thing or felt something similar, something akin?
Because statistically, there's going to be aberrations.
At age 14, you're thinking this, or you're thinking back now?
At 14,
Okay. So I guess extremely bright does apply
maybe.
if you're thinking that at age 14. Okay. Next phrase. A good bet for admitting to neuroscience grad school.
What does that mean?
And I'll tell you exactly what it means. As I looked at the applications and the comments from the various admissions committees, a number of the people that you interviewed with and who had reviewed your record said you were a good bet for admitting to their grad school.
Okay.
Okay. Agree? Disagree? Comment?
No comment.
No, you got to give me something.
You offered the comment, but no.
We're talking about,
Is that before or after they interviewed me though?
this is after the ones I'm thinking of are after interviews. I don't know whether they're among the schools that you applied to when you were at Riverside or the schools that you applied to in the following year. I don't know the answer to that. Just because.
They're probably in the following year.
Okay. So a number of the people that you interviewed with and who reviewed your record said, he's a good bet for us. What made you a good bet for them?
Just my academic record, my GRD scores.
So was that an accurate statement that they were making, an accurate assessment
Yeah, I'd say so.
of you at the time? Next one. A bad bet for admitting to graduate school.
That's probably because of my social awkwardness and stuff.
What makes you say that? What goes into that statement?
Well, that I didn't present myself well during the interviews.
Okay. So you're implying it didn't have to do with your academic record.
Right, that was pretty good. I had a good academic record.
What in the interviews, and I don't mean to be redundant here, but how did those interviews go that might have made someone say, nope, he's not for us?
Just if I never said anything. I was kind of too brief with my answers.
Do you remember freezing in those situations? You think you froze?
Yeah, I think so.
Any particular kind of person or topic or question that might have been more likely to make you freeze than others?
Just when it was open-ended, when it wasn't a specific topic.
Okay.
Issues when I just kind of like didn't know what to say.
Okay. Next one. Disdainful of others.
I would say like in my mind, but not outwardly.
So in your mind, tell me about disdain for others.
That kind of goes back to the hatred of mankind.
Okay. A little more, please.
I just didn't see a purpose for people living, I guess.
I'm sorry.
I didn't see a purpose for people living.
Okay. Can you expand on that a bit?
not really.
How about for you living?
My purpose was to fix myself, I guess.
Didn't see a purpose for people living. What purpose might you have seen if it had been there? What purpose might you have been looking for that you didn't find?
Raising a family. You know, living a cookie cutter life kind of thing.
And those were things of disdain or not things of disdain?
Those were purposes of other people's lives.
That would make them worth living or not worth living? I'm not sure.
That would make them have a worth living.
Okay. Having a family, raising a family. Okay. The disdainfulness, you said inside but not
And I
expressed.
wasn't outwardly aggressive toward anybody or anything like that.
Aggressive is a little different from disdainful. Why did you say aggressive, not outwardly aggressive?
Because I'm more passive than aggressive.
Okay. A few folks describe you as flat or without affect.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Those are kind of psychiatric, psychological words. What do they mean to you? Flat, without affect.
Just not showing too much emotion or too responsive to stimuli.
As you and I are talking together, I see you smile from time to time. I see you chuckle from time to time.
Yeah, not a robot. So.
Is that different from the way you were, say, in grad school?
No, I'd say pretty much the way I am now is the way I've been.
Pretty much the way you are. Okay. Avoiding tough personal questions or personal answers.
I don't know what that means. Very personal. Okay.
I'm asking you a lot of personal questions, some very personal questions. Do you see yourself kind of avoiding those? Or avoiding the answers to them?
No, I try and respond to them, figure them out.
Why'd you say believe it or not?
What?
Did you say believe it or
No,
not? Or did I misunderstand you? I might have misunderstood you.
Okay.
You do often answer with pretty short answers.
Yeah, very concise.
Could also be taken as avoiding expanding on the answers, avoiding detail of the answers. Which, by the way, is the way I take it a lot of the time.
I don't know if that's just a speech pattern thing or if I like start freezing up.
I get the impression there's stuff going on in there, and sometimes it's hard for you to bring it out. Your phrase freezing, that's a pretty illustrative phrase. That seems a pretty descriptive phrase. Is there more going on in there than is able to come out sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah.
As you and I are talking, does that get in the way a lot?
I would say so. That's why I'm brief.
Maybe we can make that better as we get to know each other a little better over the next few days.
Okay.
Last one, paranoid.
I'd say a little bit, not too much.
What's a little bit there?
Like choosing the seat that's in the corner of the room that can see the whole room kind of thing.
Okay. And I'm talking now actually about time when you were in grad school, up to the shooting in high school, maybe not since the arrest.
Okay, I haven't been that paranoid before.
I'm not sure you haven't been what?
I haven't been that paranoid before the shooting. Nothing.
Okay. So the paranoid that you're talking about just now applies to since your arrest?
Yeah.
Okay. Does it apply to the shooting itself? Being paranoid?
Maybe a little.
How about before the shooting? Does it apply at all?
Not like severe or paranoid or anything.
I'm sorry.
Not severe.
And there may be a degree that we might disagree on. I guess the interesting thing about paranoia and things like that is the person who may have it may not realize that he or she has it or is exhibiting it. I'll give you an example. At the shooting range in Myers Canyon.
Yeah.
I believe you mentioned that you thought that there was an FBI car there? Do you recall?
Yeah, I saw an FBI SUV drive by.
Drive by. How did you know it was an FBI SUV?
It said FBI on the side.
I guess that's not paranoid then, is
I
it?
don't know.
It really says FBI.
Yeah.
All right. As you were going into the theater when the shooting occurred, I believe you said at some point that you thought the FBI was watching you and might stop you. Do you recall that?
I said on the drive over, I thought the FBI would stop so I wouldn't have to do it. Stop me.
Okay. Did you think they had you under surveillance?
Yeah.
What led you to think that?
Just that I was going to commit a crime.
Do you think maybe you hoped they had you under surveillance?
Yeah, a little bit.
Can you expand on that? That a little bit of you may have hoped that they were surveilling you.
Yeah, so they could have done the right thing.
Done the right thing, meaning
Locked me away before I did it.
and we will get into this in a little more detail tomorrow, the next day, but when you were visiting with Dr. Fenton, I remember her notes and comment that you were concerned about the door being locked and a package. Do you recall that?
Yeah, she locked me out of her little reception area, and she was carrying a bag.
What did you make of at the time? Not necessarily looking back, but at the time, if you recall, what did you make of the door being locked?
She was afraid.
Afraid of?
I'd sent an emoticon that showed like one figure punching the eye of another figure. And it was supposed to be me, though, who was the one getting punched because she'd forgotten my last name. So when I went to the pharmacy to get
That's when she wrote the wrong name on the prescription.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it the next visit that the door was locked?
Yeah, it was the next visit after it.
Okay. And had you sent her the emoticon? When did you send her the emoticon in that context, if you remember?
It was in the title.
I'm sorry?
It was the title of an email.
So was the order of events, she wrote the prescription the wrong name.
Yeah.
You found out when you got to the pharmacist. It was corrected. You sent her the email with the
Showing-
emoticon.
Yeah, with the emoticon title and the wrong name prescription attachment.
Okay. And then the next visit,
She locked me out.
the door was locked. Okay. And your view of the reason for the door being locked was
She thought I was going to punch her.
she thought you were going to punch her. And when you say frightened, was she thought you were going to punch her? Did you think she thought anything else? Did you might do anything else?
No, I think she misunderstood.
Okay. Did she explain anything about the locked door at the time?
No, I didn't ask her either.
Looking back, do you still think that's the reason that the door was locked, or do you think there was some other reason the door was locked?
Well, that was the only time the door was locked. So
Okay. What about the bag, or the package, or whatever it was? I wasn't there. I didn't see it.
that was the only time she carried a bag and put it behind her seat. So I thought it might be like a taser or something.
Do you know what it turned out to be? Did you ask her about it? Or no?
No, I did. I mentioned the bag, right? And then she didn't say anything about it.
She didn't show you what was in the bag? Or
No.
you think there might have been a taser in the bag, looking back on it?
Might have been, yeah.
Did you think more surely, or more nearly surely, that there was perhaps a taser or a weapon in the bag then than now? Or do you think now about the same as you thought about it then?
I think it was probably just like a birthday gift she received. Some sort of gift bag.
There's another thing that you noticed with Dr. Feinstein. And let me see if you remember it. See if you can. You may not remember the same thing that I'm thinking of course. You remember anything unusual about Feinstein or Feinstein? I don't know how it goes.
I don't know. No, I don't recall anything strange.
Just something about his hand or arm being wrapped around his
Oh, his arm was in a sling.
Okay. What did you make of that?
I didn't know if it was feigned weakness or not.
Feigned weakness.
Yeah.
When might he have feigned weakness?
I don't know why now.
At the time, and I'm really, if you recall, and you may not remember, and the memory may not be accurate for that matter, but at the time, what do you remember about why he might have been wearing a sweater?
I thought he might have been hiding something there,
Such as,
like a knife or something.
why might he have a knife in there?
I don't know.
Speculate.
So he could be in control of the session.
Did either of them at that time, was there a reason for them to be concerned about you? Or were they misunderstanding? Assuming
I don't think I made it clear enough that I was mentally ill, or if I did at all. I don't know.
was there, and your view is that you believe they were frightened of you?
At the end, yeah, I thought they were frightened.
Was there, looking back now, was that logical? They had reason to be frightened of you or not?
I'd say that's logical because I already started getting weapons. And then I started thinking they were going to be frightened of me after I got the weapons.
You had already started what?
I already started getting weapons.
Getting what? Did you tell them that you started getting weapons?
No,
And how would they have known that you'd been getting weapons?
I don't know. I just thought they would be afraid.
Okay. I think we're going to have to stop for this afternoon.
Okay.
Any questions for me before I leave for the evening? I'll come back about 9 o'clock if that's all right with you.
That sounds fine.
Okay. Any questions about today or that you thought of, stuff you think I should know?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Hope you have a good dinner. And we'll try to keep the juice flowing.
Okay, thanks.
And that is the end of the first interview. I am so sorry that that took as long as it did, but I do really appreciate all of you guys for sticking through. I will try to be on either tomorrow or Saturday. I will probably be on Saturday. That way I have enough time to prepare. But we will pick back up on the interviews. We're going to go through all 5 of them. And then we'll pick back up on Columbine because I wasn't trying to start a new series before finishing the first one, but I didn't realize that there was more interviews and stuff like that out there for James Holmes. And that entire interview, all of his answers were short unless he was asked to give more context or more information. He would answer with yep, 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 nope, nope. But when asked to provide more context, I mean, even then he wouldn't give a whole lot of context or answers. It would be, I don't know, I don't fully remember, stuff like that. And I find it so interesting. And on top of that, the psychiatrist himself even asked before the interview fully started if his pupils were typically dilated like that. And the fact that the psychiatrist himself thought it was weird is just so telling to me. But I hope you all have a great night. I hope you all stay safe. We love you guys so, so much. And I will be back Saturday, I think. Stay safe, everybody. Remember, silence is complicity, truth is action. And, like, subscribe, share, all the things. And we will see you again Saturday. Bye.